Yes, sir. And we all live, as you already know. Yeah, let's go, let's pop, let's take it to the top. Hey, you pop the jaw, and I'm down in the house. And you come doing that bullshit that is down now to get it. You illin', we chillin', little niggas stay all in your feelin'. I'm standing and trying to get sweaty, I'm stepping to the front to the ceiling. Cause I be getting that money up, I spin it, how I get up, come through, gonna show you love, gonna count the smoke, count the drink. You want us warm, now let's get to the pitch, get you out the jaw, and I'm down in the house. But if you come through in that bullshit, then it's time enough to get you illin', we chillin', you know niggas stay all in their feelin'. And I'm steadily trying to get this money up, stacked to the market, trying to sell it. Cause I be getting that money up, I spin it, how I wanna, come through, gonna show you love, gonna count the smoke, count the drink, boys, warm, plus some pepper, get it. And now that you know that the HG and Brando knows, let's get it poppin'.
Sun rooftop, digging in the scene with the gangster lean and and we ain't coming down, see on my face that smile, see on my head that's a crown, top of the world, top of the town, baby.
I moved up the hood that had the church on the corner where I sit and talk shit all day cause I wanna. And on top of that, bustin' none of y'all gonna do nothing but keep running your mouth and keep frontin'. Go ahead and say something, I'll wait. I ain't gonna wait too late, cause in a minute I'm escape, cause there is no debate. No, it's not an option, you gotta keep cock watch.
Sun rooftop, digging in the scene with the gangster lean and we ain't coming down, see on my face that smile, see on my.
Yo, Cam, tell them where we from, baby.
I'm from 140th and Lenox. I'm from NFL, up the block is 40 Wolves, Lou Simpsons on 142nd Cross Square, D. Ferg on number 8th Avenue. I don't see you around none of this. Not from none of that.
Game over.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yeah, it's AC and Brando knows. And we can already get it poppin' right now, but I'll tell you that. Summer's upon us. You're gonna be fair or square. Let's just get you there. Jesus Christ. You. Whoa. Yeah. Hold on. This is. Yeah. Okay. man. Let's get popping. Diddy lawyer makes P. Diddy trial. Could rapper right hand woman be his downfall? Could it be? Well, let's get in it and see. Say that.
And what can she say exactly? Well, we're going to dive into what other witnesses have said about her so far and her alleged role in this whole saga. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
That's great.
Hey, everybody, listen up. This is another Law and Crime legal alert. If you received Depo-Provera birth control shots or were later diagnosed with a brain or spinal tumor called meningioma,
So today we're going after a 2007 Toyota Cruiser. The guy is 4 months behind. He owes $1,200 plus key. He put $1,200 on there, but
yeah, just a monthly payment.
Oh, just a monthly.
I can give you the total.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The guy's been hiding it out. Finance companies sending letters. You guys know the drill if you've been watching my repo videos. Finance company is just sick of his SHIT. So then they call Bounty Hunter D and my crew to secure the vehicle. And that's what we do. We try to secure the vehicle. And I look around the neighborhood to see if I see the cars. You guys know. Go ahead and leave a comment in the video. Make sure you like the video, because a lot of y'all watch it, you don't hit the like button. It's like, yo, y'all know when y'all hit that like button, it really helps the YouTubers. Actually, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a director. I'm a director, an African director who has directed movies and active shooter. I can't wait till active shooter comes out, baby. Can you wait till active shooter comes out?
I can.
Man, it's a series, you guys, that we did. We filmed it a couple years ago, but it's a sci-fi / drama. It's a very intense film. Series, actually. There's 5 episodes. And we're going to is that it right over here? Oh no, that's not gray.
No. Well, that's not cruiser, really.
No, but I got thrown off though. It's great. Anything I see similar. Yeah, you know, we look for a car, everything look like it. Yeah.
And we were talking about that grade. You see that grade?
Yeah. No, some of that. But no, it's just one way up in the front. Show the camera. Like way up in the front. You see that right there? That's what I thought. I was about to bring out the binoculars. So Active Shooter is just, it's going to be an amazing film. And I look forward to sharing that with you guys. It's only going to be on Roar, streaming on Roar, Apple TV, Fire TV, everywhere. But it's going to be an amazing film that we have done. It's special effects and, I play King Atumba. He's an African from Darkinam. And I'm very excited to play my heritage and my roots on film of Africa. Because it's all about that A. Y'all know that with me. You know it's about that A. Leave a comment. Say what's up to me. You leave a comment, I'm a heart. Every comment that says, I love you, D, I'm going to love you right back. Just spam it. I love you, D. I love you, D, if you do love me. If you love me. And I'm going to heart you right back. Male, female, don't matter. Love is love. Love does not have a color. Give me that love. You say, I love you, D, I'm going to heart you right back. Baby, I think it's on this street right here.
Yeah.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if Ache is close. And then we'll go ahead and see if we can get this vehicle, if it's even over there. I can't see from here. I'm going to have to move up. I'll turn the video back on when I get something more interesting like this. Stay tuned for the Hunt Bounty Hunter D. Active Shooter is going to be up this year. Active Shooter. Let's get it. Where's Ache? What's up, homie?
Hey, all right?
Yes, sir. You ready to get it?
Yes, sir.
This dude is 4 months behind.
4 months.
He owes $1,200, but plus key, plus toll fee, plus everything. So he probably, the finance company probably had him around maybe $4,500. What you think, baby? Close to $5,000?
It's like 3,800.
About 38?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's hit the door, man. Let's see what he got. This is an old. Hey, hold on. He's an old dude, and he's like a vet.
A vet?
So yeah, I don't know if he's like. That's all he told me. He's a vet.
All right,
so I don't know. We just got to be careful.
Yo.
Hey,
what's up, my man?
Hey, what's up? My name is D. I'm from the finance company. Is your name Jason?
Yeah, my name is Jason.
Okay.
So what?
Okay, so I want to show you this, man. I got a repo order for your vehicle, state of Texas, right here. So you way behind. You probably owe like $3,800 plus fees. How you doing, ma'am?
Don't talk to her, man. You talking to me?
Well, I'm just being kind to everybody.
What's going on here, man?
And how you gonna tell me who to talk to?
Hey, man, this is my one. You better go. Hey,
I'm just being friendly to everybody. That's all it is.
On this right here. Man, 4 months, man. I'm not 4 months behind on my payments on my car, man.
Okay, so you can see the tow truck.
What's going on?
Yeah, the tow truck, man. So you about to get towed. Okay, so do you have the key? How you doing, man?
What do you mean if I've got the KT's card? No, I haven't got the key.
Hey, man.
Okay.
Hey, dude, you got to.
Bruh,
you got to take that off.
You 4 months behind on your payment. That's why I'm here.
I am not 4 months behind on my payment, dude.
That's what's up.
Dude,
okay, so who makes the payment then? Does she make the payment? You make the payment?
I make
okay, so are you sure? Because you vouching for him, obviously.
Yes, because I already know exactly what he does.
Baby, I got it.
Okay. Man, you got to let her. She can talk to us if she wants to.
This is my girl.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Then you can deal with the king. King the king school.
Who said you a king?
The world said I'm the king.
Hey, man, I'm the king and you on my property. This is my vehicle.
I don't mind you being the king.
You need to get that off my car right now. You and this, whatever he is that you brought with you.
That's Ache.
I'm going to tell you right now.
That's Ache right there.
Who?
This is, well, he's Ache, but I call him Smoke Ache because
Ache. I'm just saying, look here.
Who you talking about somebody head, man?
What?
Hey, somebody, this dude talking about somebody head.
You need to get that up. Babe,
yeah, calm him down because his cholesterol's rising up right now.
I stop talking about my woman and focus on, hey, man, you getting that truck.
Man, I'll talk to you, but I want to talk to you.
You got PTSD right now, something, man?
Hey, man.
Where's the big bread? Let me grab this.
I heard.
Let me try to de-escalate this dude.
This is my car, man. I made my payments. What y'all doing?
What branch military you was in?
It don't matter, man. I'm in the branch up. Get that off my car.
Here, I tried to show this to him. Okay, I'm just showing that to you because you're the more common. Because he gonna get somebody up, right? You gonna get somebody. You escalate. I'm trying to de-escalate by talking to your queen.
You know,
so
that's right.
I'll take that. So listen, you see this? Don't hit that, man.
See how quick them hands was? You don't want none of that. You don't want no smoke, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now.
I don't want no smoke.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Are you finna make me a barbecue?
Yes, man.
I love smoke. I love smoke.
Bounty hunter.
That's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what's up.
The quicker pick up. That's what you just did in my car. All right, get.
Man, okay. You gonna listen. You need to chill out.
You get that off
You're
my car.
getting too close. I don't like nobody that's close to me.
Get it off my car.
I don't like nobody that's close
to me. I
don't like nobody that's close. This is waiting for you right here. I don't like nobody close to me like that.
You don't step too far, man.
Okay, so what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it, man? What you gonna do about it, though? What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it, though? Hey, take him over there. Take him to the ground. Take him over there. Yeah, put him right there. Put him right there.
Get off me, man. Get off me. All you gotta do is calm down. Get off me, man. All you gotta do is calm down, man. That's it. All you gotta do is calm down, man. We just want the keys. That's it, man.
Where the keys?
Where the damn keys at? We just want the keys.
Go in the house, get the key to the car. Go in the house, get the key to the car. I'm cussing at everybody. Hey. Tell her to get the key to the car.
Get the keys, baby. Get the keys, baby.
He said, go get the key. You heard what he said?
Hey, get off me, man.
Hey, man.
I can't breathe.
You gonna calm down?
I can't breathe.
Hey.
You gonna calm down?
I ain't even got you that tight. I ain't even got you that tight, man.
Here, let him up, Ache.
All right.
Man, if I let you up, you cool?
Yeah,
all right.
Hold on, man. I don't want you falling and having a heart attack out here.
I ain't gonna have no heart attack, man. Listen, dude. This didn't have to get to that point.
Well, you made it that when you tried to bother me, homie.
You can't do boss man like that, dude.
So you need to chill out.
Behind me, man. Listen, man. She gonna get the keys. We good.
What you say?
We get the keys. Hey, they're on the.
Then I'm gonna go in your house and get them here. I'm gonna go in your house. Hey, I'm gonna go in your house and get them if you don't give me the key. Hey.
I'm gonna sue y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out here with him.
Open the door. Give me the key. Open the door.
You all right, vet?
I'm good, man, but look, man, didn't have to go this far, man. Come on.
Yo, I'm not leaving until I get my key. I'm not leaving until I get my key.
I got you, man. She's gonna give you the keys, man, but didn't have to go through.
We'll tell her to open the door.
Oh, you got keys, man? All right, we got it. There we go. We got keys, man. Y'all got it? But I made my payments, man. I made my payments, man.
Yeah, you gotta take it up. You gotta take it up with the higher ups, man.
Payments. Brother, listen. I'm
listening. I'm listening.
You ain't got to do that, man. How am I gonna get to work, man? Come on now. How am I gonna get to work, man? I gotta make a living, man.
Man, you tried to attack me. I don't have no sympathy for you. You tried to attack me.
I apologize for that.
Okay,
I apologize. I did not mean any harm. I promise, okay?
Okay.
Listen.
There you go.
Oh man, come on, you really gonna do this, man?
I think this is it. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, let me see those again.
Got this car, man. Oh, come on, bro.
Y'all got a Lexus, huh? Where's that at? Baby, we got another car on the list?
No, ain't another car, man. That car right there. Don't get
Here, see if you start that car up.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll take that one off. All right. I can't take this car. Wait, is this car?
I don't remember.
Let me just check. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see what you financed, man. That's it right there.
Oh, man.
Oh, hold on. Let me see.
You can't take two cars.
Well, it depends. Did you finance that one too?
That car's paid for, man.
Okay, let me just find out.
I got the title and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Let me just find out. Baby, is email list for today up?
Yes.
This joke is nice too.
I do.
I know it's nice. I know it's nice.
We appreciate you.
There's nothing on that car. You don't even think about it. No. Come on, man.
Hold on, man. I got to check. This is the right one? Yeah, this is the right one. Let me just check.
Leave that car alone. We got one. Leave it with something, brother. We brothers, right? Right? We brothers, man. Leave it with something.
Yeah, we you know what? If you identify as African, you my brother. Yeah, but we could be the same color and not be brothers. Fake African. Okay.
Got my car already, man. Hey, man, everything else is cool, man. Should be nothing else,
There's
brother.
nothing on that car. So don't even go.
There you go, right there. There it is, right there. You got Forte got my car. He got the keys over here, y'all.
This dude keep calling me Forte.
Y'all gotta leave me alone, man. Come on, bro.
It's on here.
No
But it's not.
way.
It's not late
No
though.
way, man.
It's not late. Well, they haven't made their payment. It's behind 2 days.
Yeah,
So,
there you go, man.
but hold on. This is Texas. This is Texas. It's different than where I'm from, Cali. In Texas, your car can be behind 1 day on your payment, and they can still take it. But I'm just letting you know,
Weekends.
Texas is different.
Yo,
Weekends.
Texas is different. So I need to call the finance company.
Weekends. So
I need to call them to see what they want to do.
Payments on Monday.
Let me see what they want to do. Because it's late. It's not 30
You
days.
can't get them on the week.
But let me call and make sure.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Hey, this is D.
Come on.
hey man, yo,
Hey, I
appreciate your
secured.
services and stuff, dog, but
Yeah, you already know, right? You can hear them, right?
can't just put.
No, I'm an old man.
Okay.
Oh, now you old
Now
man.
there's the Lexus that's here
Oh my God, thank you.
that y'all have
You trying to wrestle pretty hard over there. You see him over there.
You don't know my life.
Yeah.
Like I said before, man. I'm good.
So yeah, it's only a couple.
Figure it
minutes.
out.
What do you want me to do?
Got some more tow
You want
trucks
me to take that
around.
one too, or you want to?
Just being, how you gonna get right? He's the boat car.
Okay.
I didn't know you.
Yeah, I'm secured already. I'm about to go. I got that one.
You get
We got an announcement. Let's go. We're early today. We're early today because we got a big announcement from Brad Garlinghouse that could reshape our entire lives. So let's better understand what's going on. And man, you can't wipe the smile off my face today. It's ear to ear. So let's just check in with the chat here. We got Amanda M first here. Great to see you, Amanda. Thank you so much for being here. We got Astro Matt. I can't say your name, brother. I do apologize, but I appreciate you being here. Tristan Baker is here. Tristan, thank you so much for being here. Good, beautiful, good morning to you, Sensei. We are moonbound. I love to hear it, man. I love to hear it. XRP Darling is here. I got you, XRP Darling. Don't you worry. Ben Smith, what's up, Ben? How you doing? Thanks for being here. Great to see you, Ben. DJ, great to see you. How are you? Man, we got a bunch of people dropping in today. Case drop. Let's go. Let's go. All right. All right. I can say hello to you for half an hour. So let's just get into why we're all here today. Man, can you feel the excitement in the air? I definitely can. So let's just pull this up. All right. So I think it all started with this. Okay, this was put out. The 26th. What's today's date? 27th. So this was put out yesterday. So it was just a little typo up here, but it says Judge Torres just gave them two options. So Judge Torres denied Ripple, the SEC's motion. And so she basically said, hey, you guys need to just drop the appeals or move forward with the case. And 73% of people that voted, there's 5,000 votes here. They just wanted to end the case. And so Brad Garlinghouse did see this and said the 74% of you that clicked end the case were right. And then Brad Garlinghouse just tweeted this moments ago. This is a few minutes ago. Ripple is dropping our cross appeal, and the SEC is expected to drop their appeal. And that they previously said we're closing in this chapter once and for all and focusing on what's most important, building the internet of value. This is fantastic, fantastic news. Man, can I get a like in the chat, guys? We are just streaming here on YouTube today, so it's all going to rely on you to like and share the space if you possibly can. We want to get people in here to enjoy this with us. But how you guys feeling after seeing this? Aloha from the Valley Isle. Great to see you. Aloha. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. What do you guys think, man? Can XRP sell to corporations if they're both drop appeals? You know what, Matthew? That's a good thing. Let's look into that together, man. Let's research that together. So let me show you how I would research this. Okay. So let's see here. We would copy and paste this from Brad Garlinghouse, right? The statement here. Let's throw this into Perplexity. And so we're gonna bring this up here. And so your question was, can XRP sell to corporations if they both drop appeal? So Brad Garlinghouse just tweeted this out. If both Ripple and the SEC drop their appeals, can Ripple sell to companies or institutions? And I spelled that wrong. Sweet deal. I got to move to my new computer. All right, let's see what that says. Let's pull this up. Man, you gotta love AI, just throws it all together for you. All right. With Brad Garlinghouse confirming that Ripple is dropping its cross appeal and the SEC expected to drop theirs as well. After the years-long battle, Ripple and the SEC is effectively ending. This development raises the question, can Ripple now sell directly to companies or institutions? So here directly to answer your question, because this is how we do it live here, Matthew. It says, George Torres ruling remains. So what does this mean? The most recent court ruling, which found that Ripple direct sales of XRP to institutional investors constituted unregistered securities offering, still stands. Judge Torres also imposed an injunction restricting Ripple from making such sales unless they comply with securities laws. So the injunction status, both Ripple and the SEC attempted to have the court lift the injunction and reduce penalties, but Judge Torres denied that request. As of now, the injunction remains in place, meaning Ripple still is restricted from making direct institutional sales unless the injunction is formally lifted. Now, I saw somebody say Ripple, can Ripple sell to institutions outside of the USA? Can Ripple sell escrowed? Well, I guess it really doesn't matter if it's escrowed or not. Let's see what this says. Let's see here. Ripple can sell XRP to institutions outside of the United States, provided it complies with the laws and regulations of those specific countries. So if you're like a bank and you wanted to buy XRP from Ripple, you would just need to do that with like a subsidiary outside of the United States. It sounds like it does sound like the judge's ruling is still going to apply here. But there are some other options for Ripple. So thank you for the question. I'm glad we could answer that live on the chat. They will be sold to the U.S. government. I mean, a lot of people say that, I don't know. So if you wanted to sell or give XRP to the U.S. government, they would need to have money to do that. And so unfortunately, all of the steps that Trump has taken recently for a Bitcoin fund and these type of things, it doesn't have any taxpayer money behind it. This is why they're try to come up with like other solutions to raise money to do this, to buy Bitcoin, because if you want to use taxpayer funds to do anything, you need to have it approved through Congress and the Senate. And that is not the steps that he took directly. So, they're going to have to figure out a way around that. So right now, the U.S. government can't buy XRP, can't buy Solana, can't buy ADA because there's no money earmarked for it. Now, that could change. Obviously, getting Congress involved in the United States would maybe open up those doors and windows and everything to allowing that to happen. But right now, they don't have the current funds to do that. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Man, we got a lot of XRP people in the name. We got people here from England. What's up, kiddies? Nice to see you. 1990. Good year. Good year. Let the bull run get started. Great to see you, Ade. Thank you so much for being a member here. I really appreciate your support. Fedwire to go live. So, like, this is also something that I address, guys. If you're not, I know that your time is limited and you cannot watch, tens of hours of content a day. And I really appreciate all the support you guys show me on my content. I have been addressing the ISO migration of Fedwire in July, July 14, 2025. I've been addressing that in a lot of my videos. What people are failing to tell you, or maybe you know this and maybe you don't know this, but right now there's already millions of transactions happening per day right now with under the ISO messaging format, the new ISO 20022, and not many of those it looks like are being used or settled with crypto. We cannot get the actual data because as these transactions are being sent, they're not really tracking who's using crypto for settlement and who's not. Will that change in the future? I absolutely think that'll change in the future, but saying like July 14th, we're headed to the moon, I just don't want to get people's hopes up. I've seen so many dates come and go in the crypto space and a lot of broken hearts. Personally, me, I've like broken 1,500 hearts, getting married to a date saying this is going to happen. So just, have that flexibility in your mind that don't give up. If July 14th comes and XRP, doesn't go insane, just, understand that could be a sell the news event. People could be taking profit on that time too. So is $20 out of the question? I mean, if you ask somebody like Jake Claver, I mean, he thinks the world could happen in 2025. I wish I had a crystal ball. I wish I could just like tap the seal on the head here and get what is going to be at the end of the year. It's hard to know, but you have a convergence of so many amazing things happening right now. With the Ripple and SEC case being put to bed, that will allow spot ETFs to get approved. Like that, I believe that's one of the biggest hurdles that Ripple's, or XRP has had to face in the United States, is waiting for the SEC to approve those spot ETFs. Now, we did have 3 getting approved in Canada, our neighbors up north there. And I think they are setting the tone for the rest of the markets. And, that could be hugely beneficial going forward to take more XRP off the open market. I also made a video today, which will come out probably tomorrow, that gets into like how much XRP is being bought off exchanges. What's the difference over the last maybe, 12 months? Are we seeing a big decline in XRP available on exchanges? And the answer is yes. Ariana's here. Great to see you, Ariana. Thank you so much for being here. Vodkagan. That is a very unique name. Great to have you here with us, Vod. What will buying on exchange do? I think, are you talking to somebody else in the chat here? Let's see. Ripple can sell if they get an exemption from the SEC. Yes, that is true, but they would need to get an exemption to do that, and they would need to follow securities laws. And I don't know how, like, I'm not a securities lawyer, and I don't know what the ramifications would be in all of that. So we have to see how all of that will go. Appreciate you, Kenny. Thank you so much for saying people hit the like button. Appreciate that. Man, we just got so much really cool news today here. I want to show you some other stuff. I like it. I like it too. Thank you, Bitcoin crew, for being here. Appreciate you. Thanks for the live news. Absolutely. We have a lot of new faces in the chat, which I really love to see. We got people here from Northern Ireland, my home country. I'd love to have you. My mom is 100% Irish, and my dad's side, I think, was like 50 or something like that. So I'm very, very Irish, if you can't tell. make it simple for the kids. We're trying to do all that, but great to see all of you. I did want to play a few other things here. If you guys are cool with that, let's go ahead and pull up. So if you're just now joining us, if you missed the news here, Brad Garlinghouse announced today that Ripple is dropping the cross appeal and that the SEC is expected to drop the cross appeal. Wouldn't it be hilarious? I mean, it wouldn't be hilarious. I would be super depressed if the SEC was like, oh, Ripple dropped their cross appeal and then they continued with their appeal. Damn, I don't want to jinx it. Oh, man, knock on wood. Okay, we'll forget I said that. But that's some pretty exciting news. I did want to show you a few other things that are happening. If you missed this clip here, Donald Trump is talking about basically the next bull run is coming soon. If you missed this clip, let me go ahead and just play a little bit of this, and we'll go from there.
Bills passed in the next few months.
Well, it's a very funny thing, crypto. So I became a fan of crypto, and to me, it's an industry. I view it as an industry, and I'm president. And if we didn't have it, China would, or somebody else would, but most likely China. China would love to. And we've dominated that industry. It's a big industry, by the way. In fact, when the stock market went down recently, crypto and Bitcoin and all of that went down much less than anybody else as a group. And we've created a very powerful industry, and that's much more important than anything that we invest in. We invest in it, but really that was an industry that wasn't doing particularly well. I got involved with it a couple of years ago, and before the second term, I got involved before I decided to run. I only decided to run because I saw what was happening, and Biden was incompetent, and the administration was crooked and incompetent, and I was in Bitcoin then, not knowing if I was going to do it a third time. So it's become amazing. I mean, it's the jobs that it produces. And I notice more and more you pay in Bitcoin. I mean, people are saying it takes a lot of pressure off the dollar, and it's a great thing for our country. So I don't care about investing. You know, I have I have kids and they invest in different things. They do believe in it. But I'm president, and what I did do there is build an industry that's very important. And, you know, if we didn't have it, China would.
Okay. You know, some of the stuff he said there, important. Some of the other stuff he said there might be kind of, you know, Trump's been in office for since January. So it's been January, February, March, April, May, June. We're coming up on 6 months. He is saying he built the crypto innovation in America. That was happening for the last decade. He has definitely opened up some new ways for companies to build. I would like to see some more direct help from the government to help out American crypto companies. I think that was the original goal when the Trump administration was formed, that they were going to help like XRP, ADA, Solana, and other American crypto companies. We haven't seen follow through on that particular part, but having the American president come up there and say he's bullish on Bitcoin, and that's really good news for the entire industry here in America and of course abroad. So, whenever Trump speaks, sometimes, some of the stuff he says is great. Some of the other stuff I kind of question as, what's it called? But we always need to do this. We need to question anyone that's, making political statements or any of this stuff just to verify what they're saying. And it's great to have him out there. I did want to show you this clip though. If you want to know why Trump and his, everybody in his administration is so pro Bitcoin and you don't really hear them talking about anything else right now, is because of this clip. Listen to this. So this is a Trump insider, and there's some really key points to this clip. Let me play it.
Sure is. In my book, The Truth About Crypto, which was a #1 Amazon bestseller, that was in 2021, just 4 years ago. And I said 1%. Today, I'm saying 40%. That's astonishing, right? Yeah. Nobody ever anywhere has said such a thing as what I'm saying now. Why the shift? It's because of the massive change in the evolution of crypto that we've enjoyed in the past 4 years. 4 years ago, we didn't know if governments were going to ban Bitcoin. We didn't know if the technology would become obsolete. We didn't know if consumers might not want to adopt it. We didn't know if there would be any institutional engagement. Today, all those questions are resolved. In the Trump administration, in the new Congress, there is massive support for crypto. Every member of the president's cabinet personally owns Bitcoin. Every major economic appointee of the president, the secretaries of Treasury, Commerce, Department of Labor, the heads of the SEC, CFTC, OCC, FDIC, all of them huge supporters of crypto. There's no longer a question as to whether the government likes this or not and is going to support the development. We also now see institutional investors engaging in ways never seen before. Banks are now permitted for the very first time, along with brokerage firms, to trade and custody crypto, which they could never do before. Stable coins are now Goldman calls it the killer app of crypto. We now have a huge array going in. And in fact, the first legislation out of Congress is crypto legislation, the Genius Act. So it has radically changed. It is now a mainstream asset. And we look at the adoption rate, it's still incredibly low. It's only about 5% of the global population that own crypto at this stage. As more and more get involved, learn about it, discover it, and invest in it, we're going to see massive asset inflows. And because, and certainly in the case of Bitcoin, it's a fixed supply asset, the more people who buy it, the higher the price is going to be.
All right, so listen, what you're basically saying here, guys, is crypto's going higher, right? You're having institutions that used to put like 1% into crypto. Now they're looking at 3%, 5%. If you listen to this gentleman, 40% of people's net wealth. Imagine 40% of, there's trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline. And if this money starts to come into the crypto market, it could just be lights out for a lot of us. So a lot of really cool things said in that. We'll see how all of this pans out. Obviously, we need to make sure that Congress in the United States follows through with regulation for stablecoins and the Genius Act, as well as if we can get crypto regulation. I've seen some people in the administration say that we could be looking at crypto regulation in the United States as early as September. That is a bold statement. We'll have to see if they can actually follow through with that. They are going to need to work together, both sides, and maybe this could be the kickoff of some great work between both houses and both bodies of government here in the United States. Dance. Man, a lot of really cool stuff happening. Supply shock. I did a video about supply shock, actually. Let me see if I can actually pull up some of that data here. My computer was like running on the fritz today. Actually, I do have that data. Okay, here, you want to see it? You want to see it? Okay, here, I got you. All right, so let me pull this up here for you.
We have been silenced for 2 days, and every morning you send this message.
And every time I do a live stream, I kind of like sneak in some of the stuff that's in my, content that hasn't got out yet. So you guys kind of get a special look at, what is coming like tomorrow. Let me just pull some other data here just to give you the full comparison. And there's some really cool wormhole information too. I don't know if you guys have seen those updates, but I will go through that too with you. Here you go.
She in her mid-90s. You playing with fire. You crossing that shouldn't be. I see
okay, so I don't know if you guys saw this community post. Let me just make sure this is, nope, I'm not even sharing the right thing. All right, so Skittles is asked about supply shock on the with XRP. So just to show you what we're talking about here is this right here, the silent supply squeeze. So okay, just take a second here. Let's slow down. Okay? Over the last 6 months, right? Since November, so it's been like 7-8 months, right? Ever since we realized that we were going to get a pro-crypto president and administration, the demand for assets has gone up, right? Just people speculating on the assets. But also what you're seeing is you're starting to see companies starting to set up different strategies for different crypto assets. And a lot of it's been Bitcoin related or Bitcoin heavy, but we're now starting to see companies interested in XRP related treasuries or XRP related treasury services, whether you're using XRP for settlement or you're using Ripple custody, or that you're just wanting to buy and hold this asset for the long term. We're seeing more of that. So I think in the last few months, we've seen about 9 or 10 companies come forward with over $1 billion promised. Now, $1 billion promised and $1 billion delivered is two different things. So please understand that just because a company says that they're planning on doing this doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to follow through. I think if we looked at the history of people saying that they're going to do something, a lot of the time that sometimes things don't line up and they're not able to follow through. But this is just the start of this intense supply pressure that we are going to see. So as the supply decreases and the demand increases, we are going to see the price of XRP starting to go up. You have ISO adoption, you have the SEC injunction limits for direct sales. And so this person, Diana, is pointing out a few things here. So they pointed out the judge judge Force's ruling, and this is why it matters. Institutions that want large XRP positions, now they need to buy from exchanges or OTC desks or dark pools, right? And then it says, what about the escrow? Ripple's unlocks 1 billion XRP programmatically, slowly across exchanges, so no bulk dumping. Yes, visible drip feed selling is what they're saying. Of course, the ISO 20022 mic drop, the big backdoor starting July 2025, Fedwire Swift, fully ISO 20022. RippleNet is natively ISO compliant, and banks upgrade. Integrating Ripple becomes easier. Talks about global payment pipes are being rebuilt quietly. If XRP gets real institutional use, banks, fintechs, and payment corridors will need XRP liquidity. With Ripple limited on direct sales, they'll turn to the open market. Now, remember, this is to institutions in the United States. They can obviously sell whatever they want globally, as long as they abide by whatever rules that is in their country. And so this person is saying timeline, short term, unlikely to move, legal risk, slow adoption. They obviously put this out yesterday before we got the clarification today. And then it talks just at the bottom here, it talks about what to look out for: ODL volume, ISO integrations, RippleNet corridors, and appeals process. And then Dark Horse also said something really important here that I think we should mention. Says Ripple can sell to institutions, just have to be open about it, and when it is in the United States. Likely, they said in the court case, most of the ODL customers were moved to another sub company in another country. It's only U.S. transactions, OTC, that is under scrutiny. So that is a very important part to know. So I wanted to just look at the data on this. Like, is the supply of XRP actually decreasing on exchanges? And I was able to pull up this post from Chad Steingraber from this is from July 21st, 2024. So we almost have a complete year of data here.
Take that land and do whatever you're gonna. I don't give a fuck no more. You've accomplished me out your way. I stay away from problems like yourself. I got more than what I'm splitting up. For my siblings, as long as they get it done and my brother's happy, then I'm good. It ain't me you gotta worry about now. It's out of my lane now. I'm Gucci. You worry about the smoke. Kendall. My father's name is Ronald, and my name is Ronald. Do I really have to say it? My dad's slow pokes. We all have the same grammar, silly. It is what it is, dog. And can I write something?
No, man.
I was gonna say, I just said no. I'm saying and the Purdy and the Kimber are separated. Stupid. That's why you got different lines. Now you see what the problem is. He said the Purdy. He said the Purdy and the Kimber are the same. You see, now we see what it is.
We're not the same, dog.
You see? Wow, they don't make no sense. You hear them? They started the bullshit. I'm gonna slap you. They started the shit, and then they want to turn it around that it's you. They the ones that throw the rock, and then they want to turn around like it's you. How it's wrong when y'all the ones talking shit? So that's what I'm confused about. So if they're telling you that you're gonna be face to face with them, I don't need to. Do y'all understand that y'all don't got nothing? Don't you understand? It's only Loretta, LA. That's the only person I gotta meet face to face. I don't gotta meet with none of y'all face to face. Like you're gonna meet face to face with T.Y. and Curtis.
Man, fuck them niggas.
I don't mean no face to face with nobody. Fuck out of here. This fucking whack. They make no sense. Look, I got. I'm glad you said that. Bro, I'm not reading that shit right now. This shit is long. I read that shit. I'm confused. I need some water. I'm like,
nigga, you already talking tough over there, nigga. You look soft.
Keep the Kimbrel out your neck. What? Now you saying that? And then you're gonna mention his wife again at a Rosa Miles. Why do you keep mentioning me?
He trying to say he know me, like
yeah.
All my names, right? Ronald Spencer
Fuji Production.
Fuji Production.
He's trying to say that he know the way we went and investigated the whole shit. He's going out and investigating you.
He ain't gonna find out nothing. With Fuji Productions. All right, he found out one of my businesses.
You Fuji Productions. My mother's name. Yeah. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, dummy?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, back, dummy. Under the pillow over there.
I'm gonna go and watch TV. Yo, that was funny. Okay, here's the phone. That was ridiculous.
That's why I said shit ain't even worth reading. Fuck them niggas. Bum ass niggas.
Don't respond no more. I'm trying to say now it's your fault. Loretta said to stop. Yeah, and then y'all came and started again after Loretta said stop. So why I don't understand? After Loretta said stop, you started again with the same shit.
Yeah, they think they could just bully me and shit, man. Fuck them niggas.
Fighting a cold, and I have been getting my butt kicked by this cold. Will the NDA start coming out now? So you must have missed my video about this. Okay. I researched, a lot of people have been talking about 1,700 NDAs. And actually, if you research this, let me show you this. This is something that's pretty cool that you can look at. So first, let's pull up the information. 1,700 NDAs, Ripple, XRP. So if you just pull this up, you're going to get some information here. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. Look on the screen here. Notice the word it uses here. It doesn't say NDAs. It says contracts. In Discovery, the parties produce over 1,700 contracts. Now, some of these are NDAs. Absolutely. But some of these are just regular contracts. So that's important to know. So let me just pull this. Let me, what we're going to do is we're going to save this photo. Okay. We are going to go to Perplexity. We're going to upload the photo here. So this is something that, I'm showing you guys live how I would like fact check something or research something in real time just to kind of, help. My goal is to help you be better at researching and help you learn more quickly so you can be more effective out here. Okay. So this is what we would do. We would pull the picture in. We would click here, local files. Ooh, hold on. Let me go. Local files. Yeah, here we go. Where is it? Did I not save it? I might not have saved it. Hold on one second. My bad. Let me go back here. Save image. Oh, it's under downloads. That's why. Desktop. Save. Okay, cool. Now we should have it. Local files. Here it is. Okay. Is this 1,700 NDAs? What contracts are they referring to? Okay, let's see. I remember researching this. It wasn't 1,700 NDAs. It was like a mixture of things. So let me just pull this up here. Okay, here you go. The 1,700 contracts referenced in the document are not all non-disclosure agreements. What'd I do? Misclick. Sorry. Okay, my bad. Okay, not all these are non-disclosure agreements. Instead, that they are a set of specific commercial agreements by which Ripple transferred XRP to contractual counterparties such as banks, financial institutions, and companies. And so, if you can see here, the 1,700 contracts are direct transfer contracts. They are trading agreements. They are compensation agreements. And then there is also miscellaneous agreements, other contracts that they do not fit the above category. So they're not all NDAs. Just want you to be very clear on that, because I know there's a lot of like, it's not misinformation, right? It's just people have framed that a certain way that it looks like there's this massive amount of NDAs that is going to be released. And, I just want you to have the actual facts. And so I hope that helps you clarify about the NDAs. All right. Let's see here. So is Taurus holding up the whole crypto market or just XRP? Just XRP. And she's not holding it up. Like, I think that's a misconception, right? Remember, she gave clarity for XRP as not a security. That was like in 2023, right? Or start of 2024. So, I mean, the SEC and Ripple case is holding up the use of maybe Ripple products in the United States. Bank of America, let's say, wanting to use, ODL or something like that involves XRP. that is something that has been held up, but it's not holding up the rest of the market at all. No. Yeah, man. Yeah. Sorry. I'm trying to power through this. You know, I was in bed the last 2 days. I've not been feeling good, so I do apologize. Wait until the poor gets off work. Hey, Bobby, let's not shit all over our fellow crypto people. Yeah. July 14th, the price of XRP does not move. Yeah, I think July 14th, you're going to have a lot of people expecting XRP to boom. And when it doesn't, I think some people will get pissed off and sell. I actually think that July 14th, the price of XRP could go down. I could be freaking crazy. And I've been called that before, but that's a real possibility. I just want you to be prepared for it. You know, I don't want to set expectations here that that are just unreasonable expectations. And I think last 5 years, I've seen so many promises of dates, and this is going to moon on this specific date, and it never does. And so, I'm just playing the odds here of another date coming and going. Now, if you research ISO payments right now, there's over 2 million payments a day using the new ISO messaging in Europe and those types of places, overseas. And so, if you think that just because ISO messaging is live, that it is going to impact crypto right away, I think we are seeing the opposite of that, right? We're seeing millions of payments going through a day without the use of XRP or any of these other things. But in the future, that is the only messaging standard that you're going to be able to move crypto with instant settlement. So, will it start to pick up? I absolutely think it will. I just don't want people to get married to the date, yo. Damn, we have some really sensitive people in the chat today. Take a deep breath, everybody. It's going to be okay. All right. Sensei, what's up with the big news? Yeah, here, Trad to win. Thank you for being here, man. Check this out. So you have Brad Garlinghouse tweeted this out earlier, just like an hour ago, man. This is 11:05 a.m. Sorry, this is almost 2 hours ago. Said Ripple is dropping its cross appeal, and the SEC is expected to drop theirs. So this means like the case should finally be over soon. We don't know how long it takes to drop the appeal, and I'd imagine. Let's just fucking find out. Actually, if Ripple and the SEC drop their appeals, how long will that take? How long will that take the courts to finalize the case? Like, how long until the case is over, right? That's what we want to know. If both Ripple and the SEC drop their appeals lawsuit, the process for the courts to finalize the case would likely be swift, but not instantaneous. So this is why you're probably not seeing a huge jump in the price right now. Here's how the timeline would unfold. Ooh, spicy. I should do a video about this too, right? What happens when the appeals are dropped? Both parties must formally notify the appeals court, the Second Circuit, that they are withdrawing their appeals process and cross appeals. The appellate court will then issue an order dismissing the appeals. The case returns to the district court, which is Judge Torres, for a final administrative actions, such as lifting injunctions or releasing escrowed funds if required by the settlement terms. Estimated timeline of finalization. Legal experts predict that once both parties drop their appeals, the court process finalizes 30 to 60 days. So that is basically what we will be looking at for the finalization of this, 30 to 60 days. Obviously, anything could happen. And, I hate to say that it's going to continue to keep going. But we're finally at the place where we're getting somewhere, guys. So, yes, it's not gone yet, but it is getting there, Ross. Like we are on the final, when you've been on a long flight for like 12 hours or 15 hours, if you've ever taken a long flight that's like 12 or 15 hours, you start to be like, man, is this half over? right? When's like the last 2 hours? And then you're like, oh, we're starting to finally descent. So we've gone through the entire flight. We've had our meals. You know, we've had the oh man, I just started thinking about, you know, United. They have Sundays in never mind. The Sundays are so good. If you ever had a Sunday on a United flight, you know what I'm talking about. But we're kind of coming in for landing here. So I think you know, it's been a very stressful. What is this? We're going on 5 years. In December 2025 would be 5 years. So it's been 4.5 years that we've dealt with this. Almost the entire time of own XRP, we've dealt with this. So it's going to be different, right? Like this is good and this is bad. This is good and this is bad. And I'll explain why I think that. It's good that we're going to finally have the clarity that we need for banks that, you know, said that they want to use the products. Now there would be nothing holding back those banks from using the products. Now, if we get the clarity and banks still don't use the products, that could be bad, right? Now, I'm not saying that, but I'm trying to give you both perspectives here, right? I try to, be on both sides of it to try to give you both sides of the argument so you can kind of see where like my thought process is on it. But I think this is going to bring more good than harm in the end, but it will put tremendous pressure on Ripple and the company to finally deliver here in the United States. And I think they're up to the task personally. I really do. Never married to a date. See, I like that. TBY Woods. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Did you say the word never? I often do. XRP will explode. I mean, you know, all of the stuff that we've been through, like, I mean, take a look around. It doesn't matter if you've been here for 10 years, you've been here for 5 years, you've been here for 1 year. You know, you're sitting next to and you're in a chat with people that have been going through the same thing with you, right? And it's been taxing. You know, I'm sure you've had conversation with your friends and your family that you've told about XRP because, you know, you are the base for XRP. You are the XRP army. And I'm sure that you've had to have a lot of weird conversations with your friends and family, you know, saying, when is the case going to be over? When is this going to go up? And it's like, you know, we're finally getting to that point where, you know, you're going to be proven right in all of these things. And anyways, if you told your friends and family to buy XRP at like 25 cents or 30 cents, and now it's at, you know, $2 and something cents, it's pretty good. Bitcoin dominance is trending up. We need that to break down for our alts. Yeah. So if this is your first bull market, Bitcoin has to top out really before you start really getting crazy movement in alts. And usually it'll go Bitcoin to Ethereum. Ethereum will top out a bit, and then it'll be like alts and then meme coins. And then once you see alts starting to top out and meme coins, like people's grandmas are coming into the crypto market to buy meme coins, that is the sign to like find an exit. Like that's what I'll be looking for, to find an exit for some of my altcoins. And then the game will be trying to sell close to the top. And then once the market bottoms out again, you know, getting back into some of these positions as the market bottoms out. And I know there's some traders that short the market. I'm just not, you know, I'm not well versed on shorting assets. And so I'm not going to try to begin to you know, talk about it or try to educate you on something that I don't feel comfortable doing. So Zelfernid's here. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Lucky I have no friends or family. Hey, Bobby, let's do this. Let's bring down the captions, right? Let's bring down the captions. We can talk in regular voices here, but I appreciate you being here, my friend. See, because like once everyone's going to start talking in captions, and then it's just going to be a mess in the chat. So let's just, you know, wait till China wakes up with the news in Japan. So like South Korea, right? South Korea is one of the biggest markets for XRP. You know, that's XRP besides Bitcoin in South Korea is like the #1 crypto, right? See, look at this. Hawaii writer, after 3 years, I've heard the case was over. I don't believe it. Fair enough, brother. Fair enough. Have you heard of the boy who cried wolf? I feel that, but like I'm not saying it though. It's Brad Garlinghouse that's saying it. So, I mean, if you want to take him at his word, you can do that. If not, just wait for the updates, my friend. All I can say. If it ever bottoms again, I mean, in 2021, when I like was my first bull market, I didn't think anything was coming back down, and I found it real freaking quick. that it does come back down. And you got to remember that, you know, we haven't had a major black swan event recently. If you remember back in 2022, you had Terra Luna, then you had FTX. And both of those things, you know, within a certain time period of each other were catastrophic for the crypto market. So, you know, are one of those events in the future? Absolutely. Something like that is going to happen again. Just that we don't know at what scale and how much will be affected. But, you know, you always got to plan for the worst here. Oh, you're good, man. Thank you. Thank you for fixing that. I really appreciate it. Some people will listen, some people don't. And so you are somebody that listened, and I really appreciate you. Thank you. So here we go. Robert M says they're actually using XRP right in South Korea. So they're in South Korea buying crypto off an exchange. XRP is one of the number one. It's either Bitcoin or XRP, but like, you know what? Let's what is more popular? South Korea. Bitcoin or XRP? Oh my goodness. Recent data shows multiple reports consistently that shows that XRP Ripple is more popular than Bitcoin. There you go. There you go. Right there. If I need to zoom in for you so it's a little bit more clear, that's what I was talking about here. People in South Korea love XRP, like absolutely love it. So that's really cool. That's a really cool figure to know, right? Yeah, shorting can get pretty crazy. Like I have a friend, a good friend that I was, you know, like neck to neck with in the last bull market, fighting the good fight, trying to find new projects in DeFi, and he built a considerable war chest, and he lost his considerable war chest in one move. So you know, if you're going to short the market, you need to know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to have much left after. So, you know, just be very cautious about all of the ramifications that can come with trying to short the market. And you definitely want to talk with a financial advisor or somebody that is qualified to talk to you about that. We got Dale here, Dale Smith from Australia. What's up, Dale? Glad to be here with you, brother. Should be the Brad who cried wolf. Fair enough. But, you know, Brad doesn't usually come out and say something unless that's going to happen, though. I mean, you know, I've always seen Brad to be kind of an upstanding, you know, gentleman in the space. I don't know him personally, you know, but just from like the interviews that I've watched, I've spent a lot of time watching Brad Garlinghouse interviews. I've probably more than most. And I think the dude's a stand-up guy, and I'm glad he's the one leading the ship at Ripple, you know? So, oh man, we got all these people from Australia. Great to see you, Ian. Good day from Brisbane, Australia. Love the show. I'm going to buy a big boat and come live in Florida when my XRP goes to the moon. All right, man. You want to party, right? You want to party. That's why you want to go to Florida. But hey, if you get a big boat, make sure that you take a trip out to Hawaii one day, and we'll go out on the water together, man. I'd really like that. But I can't wait, man. I hope you get the biggest boat, and I hope you invite me to one of your parties, because I really would like to go. Black Swan is straight legit. I think we need to, like, that's something that I've been thinking about more often, right? When you have such a good period in crypto, you start to wonder, like, is the floor going to fall out below you, you know? And I think that we should all be thinking about this. Yeah, so the judge basically said to either drop the case or go through with the appeal. Like, drop the appeal or go through with the appeal. And it looks like both sides are going to choose to drop the appeal. Obviously, anything could change, but right now it looks like we're getting there. A sudden shortage makes most sense. Yeah, I mean, you definitely, you know, you could definitely start to see Freaking Bobby, man. Bobby loves his caps. Bobby's until you write in lowercase, I'm just not going to read your messages, man. I'm sorry. Do you like Quant, Sensei? Actually, Quant, I think Quant's an important part of the technology for interoperability. I'm probably not the most qualified person to talk on Quant since I'm in like the trenches of XRP and Ripple and all this stuff day in and day out. But what I've seen from like testing with central banks, Quant is a very important piece of the puzzle. And I would never count Gilbert Verderian or is it Gil? I can't say his last name. I'd never count that guy out. That guy is wicked smart. And what's really unique about Quant is the supply, right? You got a lower supply than Bitcoin and you have all the utility. So you start to wonder, Bitcoin's at 100,000. Quant is at like what, $100 something? Let's just take a look at this so we can be on this ship together here. So coin market cap, let's pull this up. We're looking at QNT here on the real. QNT is up 6% at $100. This is crazy. Check this out. So you start to wonder, right? Market cap of 1.23 billion. You only have a total supply of 14.88 million Quant. Bitcoin's price 100,000 with a max supply of 21. So you have basically like 1/3 less of the supply for Quant, and you're at $102 here. So does Quant have an incredible future ahead of it? I believe so. What is that going to be in this bull market? I couldn't tell you, right? Because I think a lot of people think we're at a bull market where we're talking about utility prices for a lot of this stuff, and we're not there yet, guys. I mean, I think a lot of people kind of misjudge where we are. It's still all speculation all the time, and with regulation, with clarity, with the actual use of these assets, that is when you're going to get a utility number. Now, whether that happens in 2025, 2027, or 2028 or 2030, this is all things that are really out of our control. But we could be looking at some big moves ahead. Yeah. So, man, this is interesting that you just said this. Bearcat says we need to keep in mind that we've never had a utility bull run, and this one will be first of its kind. So, super excited. I've never been here longer than he says excited, and I've been here longer than most before the suit was even brought forth, man. And you're still here holding, man. And I think that says a lot about you as a person, right? I'm excited, right? Are we going to see utility prices in 2025, or are we going to have to wait a little bit longer? I think that's the real question. Health is always here and there. Like, I'm still recovering from my hip surgery. I go to physical therapy twice a week, and like that's been hurting a lot. So I think I'm maybe doing a little too much. We just got over being sick, so trying to balance my personal health life and my my passion for wanting to get deep into this. I really thrive on the information, and when I'm not like researching or I'm not getting into something, I kind of like get really bored, and I'll be sick in bed on my laptop researching. And so but I appreciate you asking. Thank you. Let's see here. So if XRP and SEC settle, does XRP go into strategic reserve? So really quickly, CW, let's just clarify something here, right? It's Ripple and SEC. And I get it. Some people, mix those two up. I've done that before. All good. So Ripple will finally have this behind them. They will have to abide by what the judge's orders are, but this should give them the clarity that they need for like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and these other giants to use the technology if that's what their real plan is going to be. Now, you're asking about a strategic reserve. That is something a little bit different here. A strategic reserve is set up in the United States. There's not money backing up the strategic reserve now. So what they're basically doing here is if the government goes in, if somebody's breaking a law in the United States and that person happens to own crypto and the government comes in and seizes their crypto or their assets, and there's crypto in those assets, they can add those assets to the strategic reserve. That's how that would work. Now, if the Trump administration wants to actually spend taxpayer money on strategic reserve, they would need to get that money from Congress. And that is, of course, something that could take some time. And I really haven't seen too many conversations about that. So I think those pieces are separated, but good question nonetheless. Thank you for asking it. Let's see here. So Dale Smith says, if as everyone says, XRP is the best tech and way better than Bitcoin and ETH and is held back for so long, can't see why it can't explode with the great news of late. Good question. So let's just clarify something. So Bitcoin, if you've listened to the people that are really behind Bitcoin, they've kind of shifted of Bitcoin being like the best technology in the world to now Bitcoin's a store of value. And I think if you've listened to people talk about Bitcoin over the last 5 years, now we're in that place where they just talk about Bitcoin being this really good asset to, it's like digital gold. Like you hear a lot of people comparing it to that. Now, Ethereum is the smart contract functionality on Ethereum is incredible. And don't get me wrong, I think a lot of people misunderstand what Ethereum can do, but you also have all of these like layer 2s that are built on Ethereum that also have a ton of value. I don't think Ethereum's going anywhere anytime soon. Now you're having EVM compatibility on the XRP ledger. That is going to allow smart contract functionality on the XRP ledger. What it'll allow is, DeFi and all of these other applications to be built out that'll require and use XRP to facilitate whatever that is built out. So I think every asset you just mentioned has their own kind of niche and their own kind of space that they're working in. And I don't think like you would, say that XRP and banks are not looking at Bitcoin for FX or cross-border payments because it's just, it's so slow, it's so costly. When you're talking about best technology, XRP is in fact an incredible technology for banks and financial institutions to move value globally, instantaneously for a fraction of a penny. Now, is there better technology than XRP? Yeah, there's a lot of newer technology that far exceeds the scalability and TPS of maybe what the XRP ledger can offer. But the problem with a lot of the new technology it hasn't been tested at scale. So, when you're a central bank or you're a financial giant or institution, you're not going to take a risk on something that is brand new. You have to sandbox test it. You have to really get in there and understand the complexities of what you're going to be doing with it. And, I think there's something to be said about Ripple's ability to get into rooms with extraordinary people, whether those are central bank people in control of central banks, or if those are people in control of, CEOs of banks. Or financial market infrastructures or payment infrastructures. Ripple has been really good at building the connectivity in between blockchain and traditional finance. And you need that middle connectivity to make this all work and make sense. So great question. I hope the answer that I gave you is adequate. How much XRP do I have to buy a new boat? I mean, kind of depends on what kind of boat you want, right? If you want one of those like little dinky boats with a little bit of a motor on the back, you probably won't need much XRP. But if you want a palace on the water, you're gonna, you probably need a lot of XRP, my friend. But good question. Yeah, I mean, 2030, Curtis is right. This is kind of next bull market utility, I think. Curtis, you spend a lot of time in Jake Claver's chat. I mean, what does he say about when when he thinks utility will come? I know I've seen some of his clips where he's talking about 2025, but I know he's also probably thinking about the future here. See here, Edo Farino and the Black Swan brothers are cool dudes, just like you, Sensei. I'm actually gonna have Edo on the chat on Tuesday. I've been talking to him. He actually, I've been going through something last 6 weeks, and it's been very taxing my health and everything, and he's been checking in with me steadily, and he's a really good dude. Also, I've had multiple conversations with Versan, really nice guy as well. I don't know his brother too well, but those are, you know, really unique and very special people. XRP won't do much in the bear market because of all the liquidity in it. Yeah, you probably are right, Don. You probably are right. Not a lot of stuff happens in a bear market. You know, people just get less interested. Let's see here. From what I understand, the lawsuit isn't really a big deal because the only thing the ruling from Judge Torres restricts in the way they sell XRP institutions. Yes and no, right? If it wasn't a big deal, why haven't we had a spot XRP ETF approved yet? What are they waiting for? You know, if the SEC is really, you know, that focused on making all of this happen, why does it keep getting delayed? And does it keep getting delayed because of the case? I mean, are we going to see an approval now that once the case is actually settled? Are they going to approve it like the next day? I don't know. But if you listen to the CEO of Bank of America, he's addressed this, right? He's talked about that they are waiting for the actual clarity for, you know, regulation. I think if you're a big banker institution, you don't want to step off a cliff, right? You don't want to start using something at scale and then some kind of regulation comes in after the fact that basically puts everything that you've just done in jeopardy. So, you know, I can see both sides of what you're saying here. Like, is it really that big of a deal? Right? This isn't affecting XRP globally, right? So why aren't we seeing massive adoption globally, right? This is just the United States. And I think that's a very fair question to ask. Do you hold Shiba Inu? I used to in 2021. I used to. I won't say I was like super early on SHIB, but I was early enough to make, you know, few hundred six, you know, I made a few 100,000 on Shiba Inu, but I did sell it in the last market, and I didn't really see a point of buying it back. Live long, Theta. Greetings. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. Buy Caspa. We called Caspa, God, what, half a penny? Like 2023? You know, that was the best time to buy it. You keep asking me about this. I don't know anything about this. Bastard coin sounds like a scam. Why? No. If this person keeps spamming this, just put them on timeout, and if they keep doing it, just block them. I don't want any kind of meme coin scam chats in the chat, please. Let's see here. Curtis says, if they seize cash from the drug dealers, they could probably put that towards crypto. Yeah, I mean, if they do, they could. But is that happening, though? I haven't seen that happening. If you have an example of that, please let me know. I mean, a lot of people believe that the price has been suppressed. And I think in the crypto market, that could be said about a lot of assets and a lot of institutions playing, you know, kind of God with it. What do you think about Pegu ETF possibly coming out? I mean, I haven't heard of it, but is it, if we're going to be basically, Lady Trader said this a while ago. She thinks that there's going to be a basket of like meme coins ETFs. And I think you're going to get like a basket of real world asset ETFs and meme coins, and you're going to get, utility coins or ISO, ETFs. I think these are all possibilities in the future. Absolutely. What are layer 1s, 2s, and 3s? Well, layer 1s are like Ethereum and, your XRPs. Layer 2s are support built on top of layer 1s. And then layer 3s are additional support built on top of layer 2s. So like I'm waiting for layer 4s and layer 5s, but this is something that you could throw into Perplexity and really get a complex answer. We're just not going to spend much time on that today. Don't say that. Please don't say that. Don't say that. No. No, please don't say that. Did Trump really say the U.S. is going to stop? This would be catastrophic. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Fuck my life. It knows what I'm asking. I hope that's not real. Trump did not say. No. But he did announce that the U.S. is immediately ending all trade negotiations with Canada. Maybe that's what you're talking about. Oh, fuck. I mean, can we just have a week where we don't get stressed out about stuff like this, please? Trump is done with Canada. Oh, my God. We have just been informed that Canada, a very difficult country to trade with, including the fact that they have charged our farmers as much as 400% tariffs for years on dairy products. You know what? Hold on, I just need to fact check all of this to make sure it's accurate. Hold on real quick. I just don't want to give you information that's not accurate. Can you scan this document and tell me, one, if it's real, and two, if the facts line up, and give me context on all of it? Okay, let me just see the rest of this here. God. On dairy products, and just announced that they are putting a digital services tax on American technology companies, which is a direct and blatant attack on our country. They are obviously copying the European Union. Oh, man. Oh, damn. And currently under discussion with us. Also, based on these egregious tax, he hereby terminating all discussions on trade with Canada effective immediately. Oh, yeah, this is catastrophic. If this is real, the document is authentic. The text image matches a statement by former President Trump regarding the termination of trade talks with Canada. Here's what I'm reading. Sorry about that. Over the new digital DST, alongside standing Canada's dairy tariffs. Okay, so claim Canada is imposing a DST tax on American companies. True, Canada enacted a 3% DST on large digital companies. So it's a 3% DST. Let me just see what this says. I mean, is 3% egregious? I guess you would need to answer that to yourself. Is 3% egregious on both foreign and domestic? So they're doing this inside of their country and domestic. So they're doing this foreign and domestically. So it's not just Americans, it's everybody that's getting this. And they're earning over 20 million Canadian digital services revenue. For the first payments due at the end of 2025. Context, the DST is similar to digital taxes implemented by the European Union, which has also been a point of contention between the US and EU. Termination of trade talks. Trump is terminating all trade discussions with Canada effective immediately. That is true. Trump publicly announced that immediately halt all trade talks. 400% tariffs claim. Canada has charged U.S. farmers 400%. So here's the truth, particularly accurate, but misleading without context. Canada's supply management system does impose tariffs as high as 241 to 290%, in most cases up to 300 and 314% on certain dairy imports, but only when U.S. exports exceeded specific quota limits under the USMCA trade agreement. Most U.S. dairy exports to Canada do not reach these quotas, and so the highest tariffs are rarely applied. So, I mean, yikes. So you do realize that the USMCA is the thing that the Trump administration, the first term, negotiated themselves. Like, isn't this their own making though? Because they did put this in their own agreement. Let's just see how markets are reacting to this, because this is how are markets reacting to Trump's news on Canada? I don't know. What do you guys think about all this? Let me just go right down to the bottom here, because I just want to see what this says. Hey, I hope you visit. Absolutely. Please. The tariff imports in the US and the tariffs suppress the whole market, not helping get liquidity. And like these, I don't know. I'm not president, so I can't really say this is whatever. Like, I don't think this is helping businesses in the United States do anything. Like, I think people don't really understand the full implications of doing something like this. We get a lot of our oil and like the machinery oil from Canada. They make some of the the best premium oils, and a lot of the stuff that farmers use to grow crops. A lot of the good like potash comes from Canada, and like I could see this really negatively impacting farmers on top of the tariffs that were already put on. So I don't know how this is all going to turn out. I mean, this is black pepper tea, man. I don't have the flu. I've just been feeling really terrible lately, but I will try it. Let me take a picture of that. Sal. Actually, you're not Sal, but you have the same picture as Sal. That's weird. Okay. Thank you. Always good news comes out on Fridays. Well, I don't know if that's on purpose, probably on purpose, right? Because markets are closed during the weekend, and you can kind of see how your policy is going to affect markets going into the week. Let's see here. Hey, Sensei, if XRP and Ripple are the rails, is Quant the railroad ties? Quant seems is going to be a Bitcoin killer. I think Quant, we did talk about this earlier. I think Quant has an incredible use case. I don't think anything can kill Bitcoin right now other than Bitcoin itself. Which I mean by that is the only thing that can kill Bitcoin right now is if people really find out who was behind creating Bitcoin. And was it like a 3-letter agency? Because if it was a 3-letter agency, I don't think anybody is going to trust, Bitcoin going forward. I think that's really the only thing that could really hold Bitcoin and from stopping it from doing what it's going to do. I just, does Quant have all the utility and less supply than Bitcoin? Absolutely. Will it be essential to all of this? I think so. Thank you for the question. We're not talking about politics. We're talking about trade, and we're talking about markets. So I didn't give you my personal feeling about how not going to be baited into it. Not going to be baited into it. Let's see here. I mean, we'll just let this play out, guys. Not much we can say without pissing off half the world. So we're just going to leave it at that. This is what the Trump administration decided to do. We'll see if it works or not. Just keep in mind, though, all of the tariffs were paused until July 9th. On July 9th, all of those tariffs kick back in. It varies between 10 and 30%. So, I think some products people haven't really experienced price hikes yet, and you're going to start to see those here next month. So, it'll be interesting. Hey, bro, had a question. Do you think XRP price can drop below $1.80? I think anything's possible. Absolutely. I mean, if we have some type of black swan event or a negative downturn in the market because of something political or geopolitical, anything can happen, man. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say it'll never happen again. I think there's a very strong chance that it could happen. Yeah, Tether. That's also a really good point, Curtis. Tether could ruin Bitcoin. If it's not got the backings, they won't meet regulations. And when price drops, these large companies leveraging against it. That's very true. I think fake Brad AI. Yeah, I mean, you always got to verify if something's real or not. Let's see here. Yeah, that's the announcement. Brad Garlinghouse said that they're dropping their appeals, and the SEC should too. Are we waiting for Brad to speak? I don't know if he's going to speak today. I don't know if he's going to speak. I mean, we can take a look. I didn't see anything that he had mentioned it. No, the last thing was just that they're dropping the appeal is the last piece of information that we have. Nothing about him speaking. Have I looked at Plume? Plume. No, I don't think I have Plume. Let's see what you're talking about here. Plume. I've heard the name. I just don't know what it is, brother. Let's take a look here. Is this it? 160 million? Bad news always hurts the market, right? I mean, like, also too, what could hurt the market is if the U.S. got into a much larger conflict in the Middle East again. That could really negatively impact the market. And so we don't know if these things are going to happen. We just got to, hold on and hope for the best at this point. All right, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Somebody asked about Plume. Let's take a look and see what they do here. Score 78. Okay. Let's see here. This is kind of fallen off a bit here. This went from, hold on. Oh, that's all 7 days. Okay, here we go. Wait, 1 month. So this is at 16 cents, and now it's been cut in half in a month. Any reason that the price is cut in half in a month? Here, let me pull up the website here. Real-world assets that feel just like crypto, transforming assets into globally accessible financial tools with true crypto native utility. I know Hashkey, Galaxy, Laser Digital. Why did the price fall off though 50% in a month? That's pretty crazy. Did something happen? Like, was there like an announcement of really good news and then like people sold off, or was it like unlock? I'd like to better understand that. But anything real world asset, if it's legitimate and it's supporting, big companies, it definitely has a place maybe in the future. Hey, Sensei, where is the massive recession? Overloaded seaports, no trucks available. As the beacon of truth telling CBC sold you. So I think what you're talking about here is I said, what was that, 2 months ago, that supply shelves would be empty for some things. I still stand 100% behind that. If you've been tracking the amount of ships that have left China to the United States over the last few months, I think I was listening to something where it was like 4 times or 5 times worse than during COVID. Like we just didn't get anything for a few months. Now, I think that shipments did start picking up, but you are going to have a period next month where there's not going to be certain goods, and 100% stand behind that. And I mean, has CNBC been sued for lying to the public recently? Because I haven't seen anything like that. So I don't know. You let me know. Seems like you are really into this. So hold on. Hold on. Will supply. Okay, I'm looking something up really quickly. Okay, here. So this person asked about cargo ships. Okay, so let's just look at the facts here because, I think people have their own agenda with facts, and we don't deal with people's agendas here. We actually deal with what is what. So over the past few months, there has been a dramatic reduction in the number of cargo ships delivering goods from China to the United States. Several key developments that have contributed to that, which are a sharp drop in shipments since the basically 145% tariffs, Chinese imports April 2025 sailing from China, U.S. plummeted by 60% in April alone. So, you know, they front ran a lot of goods before the tariffs kicked in. So that's what stores are working with right now, is they're working with a lot of front ran products. But when you start getting a 60% drop in ships that are coming into port, that means you are having less goods. Canceled voyages, cargo carriers canceled 80 voyages from China to the US in April, which is 60% more than any month during COVID pandemic. So if you're asking me, do I still believe this? Absolutely. If you look at the facts would say we're in for probably a recession. If we're lucky, it'll be a recession. You have 99 trade agreements or 98 trade agreements that haven't been worked out yet. And July 9th is the time that those agreements go back into effect. So I think you're maybe stepping on your own foot right now, and maybe you should wait a little bit of time, and then we're going to get to see the full experience of if they're going to be able to manage these things. I think, you know, Jerome Powell not dropping rates says a lot about what we're currently dealing with. And I think there's a lot of uneasiness in markets right now. And I think people should be paying attention to it. But, you know, we'll let you decide here. Port activity, for example, on a recent Friday, no cargo ships left from China for California major ports in a 12-hour window, a situation never seen since the pandemic. The Port of Los Angeles expects arrivals to drop by 35%, with most shipments for major retailers and manufacturers have ceased. So do you know what has ceased means? That means it is no longer happening. Overall decline across major U.S. ports, ship arrivals, China are down 30 to 40%. So now if you're telling me that all of these people have, you know, too much work on their hands, I would say you're full of shit. I would say that you're not looking at the actual facts and the data on the ground. And I'd say that you probably should spend some time doing that. All right. Let's see here. We have every time it looks like XRP hits the fan, I go see posted a video to calm my nerves. You know, I think if we just look at like one thing, or like, there's always going to be enough bad news in the world. There's always going to be a plethora of good news, but like, you just need to don't take each individual thing, right? Because your highs and lows, because I'm a very emotional person. When somebody kind of like comes on and attacks me, I get very defensive, and I just want to, you know, bring the facts and show them the facts about that. But like, I get that the anxiety builds up when you hear a bad thing, or even a good thing. You get a lot of joy, and you know, I think we just need to calm down and look at the larger picture, right? Like, what people that invest in the stock market, I'm not a financial expert. I don't have a license or anything. So please keep in mind, I'm just giving you my personal experiences. When I look at people that invest in stocks, they have a 10-year, a 20-year, 30-year plan, right? They're buying something to hold it through their life, right? Or a large part of their life. And I think that same thing should be looked at when you're getting into crypto assets. Sure, people like the 1,000% or 10,000% gains in a quick period of time. And if you can do that month after month and be successful at it, you're going to be successful whenever you do. But if we're talking about, the adoption of crypto, it still takes time. But I think over the last 6 to 12 months, we've seen a huge uptick in institutions wanting to get into XRP and other assets like XRP because of the Trump administration's ability to get into the crypto market. I think that's been very positive. I wouldn't probably choose the trade stuff that we're going down, but you can't win them all, and we'll see how things go with stuff on the shelves. And the thing is, like, I'm bouncing back and forth here about these two things, but when I watch a lot of I watch YouTube content about manufacturers in China, okay, and China is like the world's retailer. They put a lot of this stuff together, and then it gets sent out. Okay, if you basically stop all trade for a period of time in between two of the biggest countries in the world, it's going to have an impact, right? And maybe you can't see that impact yet, but it is still coming, right? Anyways, thank you for the $9.99. I appreciate it. El Paso, Texas. Just appreciate you, man. Thank you. That goes to Luna, and she really appreciates you. Canada put 3-spot ETFs. Yeah, we did talk about that. We talked to, I've been making a lot of content about that. If you just look at the content over the last like week, I've talked about that repeatedly, and it's really great. I like to see more. Yeah, I mean, liquidity is key here, guys. Like, liquidity is so important. I think the reason Ethereum has been so successful is because they had all this liquidity. And, you know, same thing could be said about like RLUSD and different liquidity being added. You're getting a lot of DeFi components being built out on the XRP ledger. And all of that's going to require liquidity. So we still need a lot. We still need a lot. What do you think about XRP at 250? I'll be buying XRP regardless of what price it is. I never feel like I have enough. I never feel like I have enough. And I think a lot of people feel that way. Sensei, we also need to keep in mind that ships are being rerouted to Australia and other countries versus the US, since that they have been exporting from other countries due to increased cost. Yeah, so Brett, that's a great point. But I think the person was specifically taking a shot at the United States specifically, because I had said a few months ago that I believed that this would not enough goods would be on the shelves in certain areas, and I still stand behind that. Like, all the data that I've collected since still leads me to believe that we're going to have a shortcoming very soon. And then we also have all of these additional tariffs that are going to go into effect on July 9th. So, you know, what is that going to do to the markets? We don't know, but you should be prepared for it regardless. Okay. XLM has been so quiet. I mean, they take shots at Ripple whenever they can, right? And XRP. But, you know, they have been building. Danelle Dixon is probably the reason why Stellar's been so successful the last, you know, few years. Without her, I don't know if Jed was really up to the task of running that company. She's been stellar, man. Here you go. Here is some real data from somebody who's actually in business right now. Here you go. Crypto Sensei, I have business contracts in China. About 40% of companies exporting to the US have closed doors. That's what I was going for. Thank you so much for pulling me back in. So this is where my mind was going, and then I completely lost it. When you stop this billions of dollars, right? Billions of dollars every month of goods. When you stop that from just a short period of time, those businesses that hire workers and all of these things, if they're not putting a lot of the stuff together, 30 or 40% drop, that could close a lot of businesses. And that's what you're seeing right now, right? I think people don't even see the US side of this as well, right? Like here, like this is something you should be paying attention to. Let me show you this, okay? So let's go down here and say, give me bankruptcy data. Hold on. Bankruptcy data in the USA 2024 compared to 2025. This is also something that people aren't paying attention to. Here you go. Check this out. 2024 to 2025. For the last 12 months ending March 2023, there's been this many filings. Year to date in 2025, filings are up 23.5% over 2024. Almost 25% above 2024 levels. Those are businesses that are gone. Those are employers that are now gone. You know, and people just don't think that's going to have an effect on the markets, and I don't know. I just think people need to look at all of this together. 93 million, one person shooting for Bitcoin a few hours ago. I saw like what was the guy's name that, you know, he made $100 million and then he like put a long into Bitcoin and then he got liquidated for almost all of it. I mean, it's a tough world out here, man, especially when you're trying to, you got to understand that some of these institutions have billions of dollars to play with. And if they see your $93 million short or whatever, if they want to destroy you, they will go do that, man. They will go do that. Let's see here. Legendary says, thankfully, a good portion of the items coming from China aren't already required for a day-to-day life. We spend too much on stuff we don't need. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Very well said. Very well said. I mean, I was just making the case that there's going to be less things available on shelves. Like, that's all I said, which that's true. That's true. You're going to see that over the next few months. Like, people don't realize that companies preloaded a bunch of goods, right? Like tons and tons and tons of goods. Once all that stuff goes through, you don't have new goods to replace what you front ran. And now that you're trying to catch back up, you haven't seen numbers like this since COVID. So, like, I can remember when COVID happened and what that experience was like when you went to a store and everything was cleared out. That didn't feel good. And then people start to panic, and then more people buy more. I mean, we would be silly not to think that we're going to experience some of that volatility going forward. Now, could that be all caught up? Absolutely. But we will have a time period of there where things are going to be short for some time. Ondo is killing it. I mean, Ondo should be killing it, man. Ondo should be killing it, brother. Yeah, a lot of his private investors, Chris. Well said. Well said, man. Let's see here. Ripple CEO waiting on SEC response to seal the deal. Love that. You would think, though, they would already know what they're going to do, right? If Brad Garlinghouse is out here publicly saying that. Do you think we'll see markets down due to Trump's announcement? I don't know what markets are going to do. All I know is I think we have seen in the past when some of these announcements are made that it has had a negative impact on people's ability, to look long in the markets, right? I don't know how this is going to go. Like, you have retail people basically piling into the stock market right now. And you have institutions that are leaving the stock market right now. So there's a big difference between what Wall Street is doing and what Main Street is doing. And I don't know when that will come to a head, but without all of this, retail buying, markets would still be, down. And so at what point is this going to have a larger effect? I don't know. Let's see here. Speed Freak says, can you give your opinion on why I can watch podcasts on crypto and they talk about every crypto except XRP? And if they talk about XRP, it's bad. I don't know what you watch, man. I don't know what you watch. I really couldn't tell you without looking at your, I think that especially if they're like Bitcoin people, I think Bitcoin enthusiasts or Bitcoin podcasters or Bitcoin whatever, I think everyone has a favorite of what they like, right? What technology that they're paying close attention to. Very rarely does somebody look at 100 different things and just talk about 100 different things at once. So, you could just be watching all the stuff that they just don't like XRP, but I could think of, 10 different XRP content creators that are incredibly intelligent. Jake Claver, you have the Black Swan brothers, you have Edo Farino, you have a lot of Metalom and the attorneys in the XRP space. There's a lot of really smart content creators out there that you could be following for XRP content. I just don't know what you're looking at, brother. Who fucking cares who I voted for? Why does that matter? People get too wrapped up on I kind of just miss where things used to be it didn't really matter who you voted for, but it mattered who you are as a person. We've just lost that as a society, and it's just sad. It's really sad. I don't know, bro. Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's go XRP and XLM. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. All Rite Aids are closing down. I mean, that's a good sign, right? I mean, when an entire company that's been in business for decades is closing its doors, and then, what people don't realize is the economy was already slowing down under Biden. And then when you put on all of these tariffs and all of this other stuff, it slows the economy down even more. And so this is why Trump has been so adamant about, calling for lowering rates. That's all they got right now. And without that, the picture, the overall picture here is it could be scary for a lot of people that are paying attention. But there's a lot of smart people that are trying to figure this out, and let's hope that they do, because we're talking about this actively. If you listen, we're actively talking about this. It could be crazy, dude. You know what's hella funny? Like, my wife and I go to Costco like every weekend, as probably you do too. And for like a month or two, they didn't have Charmin toilet paper. And like, if you've ever, gone to Costco and you wanted something and they just cannot have it, they just don't have it week after week, month after month, you just try to figure out other ways to get it. And so like, I'm looking at a closet that I'm staring at right now that is like filled with Charmin toilet paper, because when I finally found it somewhere, I just went and bought like $200 worth of Charmin toilet paper, because I just didn't want to deal with the Costco one ply. Man, we're getting kind of weird here, aren't we? Lunch break time. Sarah Carpenter, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. What are you eating? Anything good? In Hawaii, I miss Mexican food. We don't have as many places. Like in California, there was a lot of really incredible places, especially in the Bay Area, and you just don't have that good of a selection here. And so I miss that so much. I think it's a possibility. Yeah, I mean, the market really gets going here with the ETFs. ETFs can bring in a lot of money pretty quickly, billions of dollars, and those billions of dollars could amplify dramatically. Yeah, we confirmed it. It's genuine. Yeah. We just fact checked all this. Some of what he's claiming is right. Some of it is a little off, but it is 100% a real. Here, let me just post this for you. I'm posting a link to Perplexity. In that link is the fact checked of the information that you're asking about. We just looked at it. It is real. It is real. First question to you is blank. All right. Are we looking for you, Boston Red Sox? We're not talking politics. What we're addressing is somebody asked about if a statement was real or not, and we were trying to verify that statement, and that's what we're doing. And then I did get attacked on whatever, but we were verifying. Oh wait, that's not. It's Iran. This is what we're verifying. Here, let me pull this up. This is what we're verifying. So I appreciate you saying that, and trust me, I really don't want to talk about all this, but people love talking about it. And I never said who I voted for. People just assume who I voted for. I just like that, it really gets people riled up. So the announcement is on the screen. If you're asking what the announcement is, it's on the screen. Let's see here. Sensei, I don't get it. When are institutions allowed to buy XRP? So user, any institution can buy XRP. If you're asking about buying directly from Ripple, if Ripple would sell XRP to institutions in the United States, they would have to follow securities laws. But they can sell XRP to anybody else outside of the United States as long as it applies to that country's laws and regulations. I hope that helps you. It is genuine. It is real. We fact checked it. I'm not gonna keep saying that it's real. I verified this. You've asked me now 3 times. I've told you that it is real. No Costco one ply. See, at least one person knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, Trump is suspending trade talks with Canada. So I don't know what this is going to look like, guys. It's really hard to say, but wish us luck. We're going to get to this. Well, I mean, come on. Of course, it's like 2-ply, man. It's like extra soft. Of course, it can clog toilets. But if you have an old toilet and old plumbing, it'll clog probably. Oh my God, my wife's friend lives in a unit not far from us, but it's really old plumbing, and one of their neighbors decided to flush baby diapers down the toilet, and it flooded the entire building. So I mean, there's just, I don't know why you thought that was pretty good. What are your predictions now that the case is over? Well, it's not over yet, Kevin. When we researched this earlier, we have 30 to 60 days in the window that it'll probably be over. And once that is officially over and we can get this behind us, we might be looking at some pretty good, approvals for ETFs, as well as maybe institutions will finally start using XRP in the United States. We just don't know what that's going to look like. Hella. Yep. I mean, it probably isn't that hard to figure out kind of like my background and where I grew up and my beliefs and stuff like that. And I think my beliefs over the last, 10, 15 years have changed dramatically. I grew up in a very, like, my dad's very hardcore Republican and my mom's very hardcore Democrat. And like, they both wanted to instill their beliefs on me. And so I listened, to a lot of it on both sides. And then when I got older, I kind of made my own decisions. And it's just unfortunate that this industry is very one-sided on the political scale, and I get attacked for some of my views and beliefs, and that's fine. I'll take it. I'm still who I am, but yeah, cool. I love Mexican food. Only a few places good in Hawaii. So like, that's the thing, right? There's only like maybe like 1 or 2 places, but we should have a text conversation about this, Will. You probably got some good ones. Honey bun. Where is it like? Is it like with the cinnamon on it and like the frosting? That's a pretty interesting lunch, Sarah. You gotta be probably eating better than that. But that sounds really good right now, though. Been here since November. Thanks for all the updates. I appreciate you on deck. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I mean, like this could be a nothing burger too, guys, right? Like, how often has he said something and he's reversed course on that? I think he's got a lot of stress. When you're the president of the United States, I'd imagine sleep is not your friend. And when you're not sleeping well, you can make some really rash and harsh decisions very quickly. And I don't know if some of these decisions are thought out of how like they will impact everything on a bigger scale, but they're decisions made, and we gotta stand by those decisions, and whatever happens. Yeah, Sui. Well, people like SEI say too, but Sui, I think you're like, I've seen a lot of people saying Sui is the next Solana. I don't think I've heard as many people say is the next Solana, but I can see why somebody would say either one of those things. Traditional poke is really good. Yeah, there's a lot of really good places for fish here, man. Like really good. Like that's one of the most things I missed about Hawaii. I used to live here for 10 years in my, like, I lived here in my 20s. When I moved to Hawaii when I was 19, and I left Hawaii when I was 30. I had to move back to California. I had to have surgery, and there wasn't a good doctor here that could have done the surgery on me. And I got caught up in all of that for years, and that almost killed me. Literally, like almost killed me. And as soon as we could move back, we moved back. So are we still bullish? We're always bullish, man. Always bullish. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I mean, can't I say that I love certain things about the Trump administration, and I also don't agree with certain things. Like I had that same opinion with Biden, and like I feel like I've been pretty true to who I am. And if people don't like who I am, I get it. I understand. I cannot get up here and please, you know, if 1,000 people watch me, 20,000 people watch me, 25,000 people watch me, I try to just stay true to who I am. And if you don't like that, there's nothing I can do to change that, you know? So I hope people can understand that it comes from a good place. And I'm concerned about these things. And when I bring these things up, there's not just to like shit on somebody. They're just saying like, these are the things that I'm worried about as an individual here. And yeah. Kirkland brand used to be good. Facts. I think over the years, Kirkland's like, you know, how can we save some extra money? But like, if you could invest in a Costco 20 years ago, I mean, you're a freaking gazillionaire. I always go with the waterfall toilet paper. I'm so glad we've shifted our conversation here from crypto to somewhat politics to toilet paper. I love how we did this. No, I was not talking with you on Discord, Curtis. No. Swift is telling us that they are going to be using third-party digital currencies via ISO 20022. We also had Garlinghouse on stage at the Apex event saying that he believes that XRP could be home to about 14 to 15% of Swift's volume over the next 5 years. I got a clip from Monica Long you haven't seen. Bank of America is pushing forward with their own Bank of America stablecoin. Is it going to be on the XRP ledger? I am going to tell you everything in this video, guys. Let's go. Bring the energy. I hope you're doing well. Let's get into it.
In addition to being able to provide a better end-to-end client experience, frictionless payments also help Swift member banks be more efficient as a community, minimizing costly exceptions and investigations, enabling us to better compete from a cost perspective with new entrants and closed-loop networks, enabling member banks to leverage global open network that is Swift's strength, with a more controlled payment orchestration capability backed by the rich structured data of ISO 20022 format, opens up further opportunities for us banks to provide value-added products and services to our clients. But Tanya, I think, though, what excites me the very most of all, and what I see as the biggest new opportunity for the industry related to Swift's new platform, is the potential for integration with a variety of networks, rails, and third parties leveraging the rich ISO 20022 format and the transaction orchestration of the new platform to manage that interoperability, as well as rules of engagement with these rails and networks via a single central framework that provides transparency to manage that end-to-end experience regardless of settlement rail, be it real-time, faster, instant payment rails, be it real-time gross settlement rails, be it card rails, even e-wallet or digital currency networks. So that is what I find the most exciting about the possibilities that this new platform has.
Let's go. I like what I'm hearing. Also, I had this in another video that's probably going to come out before this one, but I had to, like, I found this clip and I was like, oh, I have to include this. So this is Brad Garlinghouse just stated at Apex 2025. He thinks XRP could capture 14% of Swift volume. Now you have Swift basically saying that they're going to need to work with these third-party different rails that use ISO 20022. A lot of that could be different financial institutions, but a lot of that is going to be different crypto assets. So I did want to fact check if Brad Garlinghouse really said this, and he actually did say this. Brad Garlinghouse did publicly state XRP Apex 2025 in Singapore that he believes XRP could capture 14% of Swift's volume. If you want to know kind of what it would do for price and all of that stuff, you want to go watch that video and reconfirm that. Here's a new clip from Monica Long that I haven't seen yet. I wanted to play it with you guys. Monica Long says institutional demand for XRP and RLUSD is unique in every single way. Let's listen.
I think maybe the use case with bank issued stablecoins is, especially with the large banks, where they create a network amongst themselves and they're using their issued stables for interbank settlement. So it's just making their kind of existing kind of legacy world interbank payment settlement mechanisms more efficient through blockchain, which is probably, but we have seen some examples of that, like I think JP Morgan's efforts were based on that. And this also calls back to like our first strategy and our first go-to-market was working with the big banks on a product, called RippleNet, and we found a lot of success there. So I also know from working with those banks as customers that there is a need for this, for greater efficiency and transparency amongst them.
Yeah, no, on the grapevine, we're hearing a number of communities considering this, and the work's going on, but I think in the pilot stage still to really come out and talk about it. The next one then, Brad, for you.
All right. And I will do a complete update from Apex. I'm going to find every single video I can and do a really good video for you guys. We'll look out for that maybe over the next day or two here. Here it is, just the end. Bank of America CEOs, the bank is developing a stablecoin for both independently and in collaboration with industry partners. independently and in collaboration. Could you do something independently and in collaboration with industry partners? Or like maybe there's multiple different products here that they are working on, one with other banks and other partners, and maybe one for the internal for Bank of America. And so here is Chad Steingraber, here's Coin Bureau. All of these people are posting about this. So I wanted to dig in and find out everything that I could. You ready for this? Let's go ahead and get into it, guys. If you are enjoying the content, if you like the energy, please hit like and please leave a comment below. It does help me get in front of more amazing people like you. We are trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Bank of America is indeed developing its own stablecoin, which will be fully backed by the US dollar as part of a broader trend among major banks to explore blockchain-based solutions for payments and settlements. While there is speculation and community discussion that Bank of America could leverage the XRP ledger for its stablecoin, there is no official confirmation from the bank itself regarding the specific blockchain ledger or technology that it will use. But there are several key points here that you should know. Those several key points are existing partnerships and usage. Bank of America has a history of working with Ripple, particularly in the context of global payments and blockchain technology. Remember, Bank of America has several, I think they have like 100, maybe a little bit more. Let me find out exactly. How many blockchain patents does Bank of America have? How many with XRP? All right, let's see. I think they have 100, but let me get the exact number for you so I don't have to guess here. But they do have patents that have XRP actually in the patents, which is really interesting. There's also been reports through not officially confirmed that Bank of America uses Ripple's XRP for some internal transactions, community and industrial speculation. So this is just people like myself or other influencers in the space speculating on what's going to happen. Here it is. The speculation is the crypto community, especially XRP enthusiasts, widely discuss the possibility that Bank of America could utilize the XRP ledger for its stablecoin, citing the ledger's speed, low-cost compliance with ISO standards, and so much more. Some users would suggest that Bank of America might create a variant of Ripple's own stablecoin, RLUSD, for custom stablecoin on the XRP ledger. Now, if you go back a year or 2 years and you start watching my content that has to do with stablecoins, you are going to hear me say over and over again that Ripple is going to use their stablecoin technology and they are going to give it to their banking partners so banks can create their own stablecoins on the XRP ledger. The reason banks would want to do this, right? There's all kinds of different benefits here. But one of the biggest things banks worry about is risk. And if you are a bank, the last thing you want to do is create your own blockchain and your own stablecoin in a siloed network that nobody is really using other than your bank. You want to use a technology that is interoperable with everything else. And RLUSD and XRP are that actual asset. So Bank of America, it would be super intelligent of them to already be working with the partner that they've worked with for years already, which is Ripple. I do think in my heart and in my soul that this definitely could be Ripple, but obviously nothing is set in stone. This is my personal feeling off of the research that I've done, but I could be obviously wrong on this, all right? Regulatory and technical considerations, the XRP is well suited for financial institutions due to its regulatory friendly features and robust infrastructure for token issuance and cross-border payments. However, Bank of America CEO has emphasized that the bank is waiting for clear regulatory frameworks before moving forward, which is coming in the Stable Act from Congress. Let's see how many patents that they have. 151 patents in North America financial services sector, held 151 patents. All right. This figure is specific to blockchain technology and does not include all of the bank's patents, which is nearly 6,600. Regarding patents specifically involving XRP and Ripple blockchain, Ripple recent reports and interviews, particularly those citing Sound Planning Group CEO David Shrizitsky, claim that Bank of America has filed 83 patents related to Ripple's blockchain technology. 83 patents! What? Why wouldn't they use? Listen, you have invested a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of man and women hours in developing all of this, right? How long is it going to take them to build this out and do 83 different patents? The infrastructure is already there. They already have the patents. What do you think is going to happen here? What do you think? I think I've made a very good case on why it should be XRP and RLUSD in that same technology. But you tell me after listening to all of that, what you think. I'd love to hear it. All right, here's Brad Garlinghouse up on stage. I think he's talking. Let me just play.
I think as a community, and I mean that broadly across Singapore, across Southeast Asia, you have a community of entrepreneur. Like the energy that I feel being here, I mean, it's I think profound, and so I think this will continue to be a region that thrives and leads, and I think you'll see more and more faster adoption. Partly as you see the U.S. as a regulatory leader, that a lot of other countries look to the U.S. I think people grossly underrated how much momentum is going to be created by the largest economy in the world finally shifting into a pro-innovation, pro-crypto posture.
Let's go. Oh, man, it feels so good to hear all this. All right, Senator John Thune says cryptocurrency is here to stay. When you have U.S. senators speaking up and telling America that, hey, this is not going anywhere. Maybe it's time for you to get in. Think of how many new people are going to enter the space because of public figures, right? The leaders, the people who get elected, they go to Congress, and we really rely on them to guide the people in their states and their cities, and of course in our country here in the United States. And I'm sure you have leaders where at whatever country you are from, you probably have leaders that you look up to, and you rely on them to give you good information. This is really, really good.
President, a significant number of Americans are engaging with cryptocurrency. That includes Americans who use stable coins. And then there are the individuals and businesses around the world that access the American dollar through the use of dollar-backed stable coins. Mr. President, stable coins are a relatively recent financial innovation, but they've quickly caught on. They offer easy payments with the speed and security of the blockchain and the stability and usability of the dollar bill. There are roughly $250 billion of them now in circulation. Traditional financial institutions are said to be considering getting into the stablecoin business. And companies like Uber and Airbnb are reportedly exploring integrating them into their businesses. Mr. President, it's clear that cryptocurrency is here to stay, and it's time that we bring it into the mainstream. Passing the Genius Act is a good first step. The Genius Act would provide a clear regulatory framework for stablecoins. It would ensure Americans can trust who they're doing business with when they purchase stablecoins, allowing the American people to exercise financial freedom with confidence. The Genius Act would also protect against threats to our national security and from criminal activity. It would require stablecoin issuers to uphold the same standards as other financial institutions to monitor and report suspicious activity, comply with U.S. sanctions, and block illicit transactions.
All right, there's a few other things I wanted to show you here. I did give a full breakdown of this in my last video, but it says in the last couple hours, Ondo Finance has launched its flagship tokenization or tokenized treasury product, OUSG, on the XRP ledger. This is BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, and the XRP ledger and Ripple coming together. Huge deal. If you want a full breakdown on all of this, guys, please go watch that other video because I really do get into this. Let's read a little bit of here just to kind of catch you up. Ondo Finance continues to lead the way in real asset tokenization with over 1.3 billion in TVL, now expanding support to the XRP ledger. OUSG is the first tokenized security to achieve material adoption, and with over $670 million in TVL, remains one of the largest tokenized treasury products in the market, alongside offerings from BlackRock and Franklin Templeton. Now, for the first time, qualified purchasers can seamlessly subscribe and redeem OUSG on the XRPL around the clock using RLUSD. This is a big step forward, guys. This is really showing other financial institutions that Ripple has the goods, right? They want to work with the biggest financial institutions in the world, and we're starting to see that. I also wanted to understand what other benefits could come from this. I just wanted to take it a little bit step further. 24/7 access and real-time settlements. Qualified purchasers can mint, redeem 24/7. This enables institutions to manage cash, optimize portfolios, and access high-quality yield products entirely on chain. So they don't have to go anywhere else. They can just move money from one product to another really quickly and seamlessly. Improving capital efficiency and reducing idle cash buffers. Remember, using something like XRP, all of these banks that have all these Nostro, Vostro accounts all over the world, between 5 trillion and I've seen as high as 20 trillion or $25 trillion locked up all over the world. Unlocking that value and allowing banks to start using that money for good in their communities and in their countries could mean new businesses being started, more people going to school or back to school, loans being taken out to start other things. I mean, there's a lot of really unique things that can happen if this money can be used instead of just sitting in a bank account and waiting and doing really nothing. If you can put that value to use, it could be really good. Enhanced liquidity and market depth. OUSG launches with 30 million in committed TVL on XRP, with over 670 million across all supported chains, making it one of the largest tokenized treasury products available. Ripple and Ondo have committed liquidity to jumpstart activity. ensuring strong trading and settlement environments from day one. Institutional grade compliance and security talks about the integration leverages XRPL's native support for tokenized decentralized exchange features and the advanced compliance tools of decentralized identities and on-chain credential management. Let's talk about global reach and efficiency. Institutions operating across jurisdictions benefit from real-time borderless access to treasury securities, streamlining cross-border cash management and reducing operational friction. The XRPL's high throughput, low fees, and reliability make an ideal platform for institutional grade DeFi treasury management products. And there's so much more. I will try to include this link in the description. So if you want to just read up on all the rest of that stuff, I will do my best. I'll remind Cass to put it in. Sometimes he can be forgetful. I do apologize, but we'll try to get it going. And most of the time he's on it pretty well. Vivo Power, we're happy to announce Vivo Power's VVPR has signed a definitive partnership agreement with Flare Networks. So you had Vivo Power getting into XRP Treasury. Now you have Vivo Power working with Flare. I think this is going to be a really big, profitable company if they can really put these partnerships to good use. Stellar is also bringing PayPal stablecoin to its Stellar network. They're saying, we're excited to share. PayPal is bringing its stablecoin PYUSD to Stellar. When you need infrastructure that works beyond the hype, real payments, real merchants, real global reach, you build where millions already transact daily. Do you think like when they say this stuff, are they still taking shots at Ripple? I don't know. You tell me. I like to see Stellar doing successful. I know a lot of people that have XRP that own Stellar. I just like to see Stellar, being a little bit nicer to its bigger brother, right? The XRP Ledger and Ripple. Anyways, have a great day. I hope you found this extremely bullish. If you did, guys, if you like this video, think about sending it to somebody in your life that would also like some of this content. I would really appreciate that. I'll see you next time. I've been Crypto Sensei. Have a fantastic week ahead. Bye. Nothing.
Other cryptocurrencies. This was mostly because to its legal problems. But now I'm starting to see these legal problems as more of a strategy to keep regular investors like us from getting involved. The most interesting thing about XRP is its original goal, especially since we're moving towards a future that is more focused on digital technology. Hey, Money Side family, welcome back to your favorite place to get the newest news about XRP. Before we get into today's fantastic news, I have a small favor to ask. If you like what we write, please help us out. To join our great community, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell to get notifications. And here's some great news. We're getting ready for a huge XRP giveaway as we get closer to 60,000 subscribers. It's really easy with just 3 steps. You won't want to miss out, so stay tuned for more information. Also, don't forget to include the hashtag MoneySide in your comments to make sure you're in the running for the contest. We all know that we're entering a time when digitalization is important and almost everything is going to be tokenized. XRP's white paper and other foundational materials show that its main purpose is to make transactions easier, not just for currencies, but for all kinds of assets in a future where tokenization is becoming more common. It's interesting to think about how XRP was designed to handle the transfer of both money and asset-based tokens. It's all about getting things done quickly. Tokenization makes things a lot easier. XRP is likely to become the main way to move both money and digital assets. It may work with Stellar, which some people consider as XRP's less glamorous sister. Let's look at how XRP affects liquidity to have a better idea of why it could change the way money is sent. In the existing financial system, if you want to move $200 million from a Japanese bank to an American one, you need to have twice that much money in your account. In this case, XRP's function is revolutionary, since it might change the way global remittances work by freeing up a lot of cash. In this part, I'm going to talk about how XRP could disrupt the way liquidity works and the foreign currency FX market. Think of a situation where a token like XRP lets you make trades almost right away. This new idea might free up a lot of money, making the market work better. This is exactly why we've seen a lot of banks work with Ripple. But the jump to institutional adoption hasn't happened yet. To help explain this, let's look at an example. If the Bank of Mitsubishi in Tokyo needs to transmit $100 million worth of yen to its New York office and change it into dollars, you would normally need to have the same number of yen and dollars at both places, which would tie up $200 million. But if this deal could be connected to a coin like XRP, the effects would be huge. Ripple's possible attempt to go public is another fascinating event to think about, but it still needs SEC permission. Ripple's win in the litigation where Judge Torres said it was not a security is a big deal. I've been an XRP investor for a long time, but we don't talk about it much on the channel. I've had a mixed connection with XRP. In the last bull market, I made more money with other investments, and XRP's performance was hurt a lot by the litigation. Also, the XRP community can be very passionate, almost like a cult, which I find interesting. There have been times when I was too hopeful about a project, and XRP was one of those times. Part of the reason for this caution is that I'm worried that some of my fans might have invested because I was excited and might have lost money. But recent technical analysis shows that XRP might be about to have another rally like it did in 2017. The way things are set up currently is similar to how they were before the 2017 spike. We've talked about the HVF, Hunt Volatility Funnel approach on the show a few times, and having Francis Hunt as a guest has helped us understand it better. He thinks XRP's value will go up to $16, which is a big jump from its present price of about 60 cents. If this prediction comes true, it may represent a huge profit for investors. The point of this video is to draw attention to what I think is a big chance with XRP. Yes, this story may sound familiar, but there is a strong reason to think that XRP investors are about to win big. The important thing to note is that XRP's technical structure looks like it is following a pattern similar to the one that led to the huge increase in 2017. It's a good sign that XRP didn't reach new highs in 2021. It could mean that the 2017 boom will happen again. I agree with Francis Hunt's positive perspective because I own XRP and have been studying his methods for the past year. It's hard to overlook how similar the trends building up to 2017 are to what's going on now. The possibility of XRP reaching $16 means that something big is about to happen. There are a number of things that could affect this, such Ripple possibly going public or their recent effort to buy back their stock, which shows they believe in their approach. I think XRP should be in your portfolio, especially since having quick liquidity is so important in today's financial landscape. I want to say that I understand how frustrated many XRP holders are. I feel the same way, but I think our patience will soon pay off. We're about to break out, which is a long-awaited run that might change the value of XRP and its place in the cryptocurrency market. In this part of the video, I want to talk about the idea that the SEC might have been trying to keep retail investors away from XRP because of outside forces. Ripple was sued until recently, but it's impressive that more and more institutions are working with them. It looks like the legal problems didn't stop these banks, which shows how strong and promising XRP is. XRP is one of the few cryptocurrencies that has a clear legal standing because it is not considered a security. This clarity could help XRP get a bigger portion of the cryptocurrency market, and technical signs back this up. Based on a number of predictions and remarks from Ripple, 2024 looks like it will be a very important year for Ripple and XRP. It will be interesting to observe how these hopes turn out, but it's important to keep a balanced view. I don't think you should put all of your money into XRP. Many XRP investors learned in 2021 that diversification is quite important, especially in the turbulent crypto market. Still, I think XRP is a good investment for a diverse portfolio. We have a wide range of cryptocurrencies and industries in our own crypto portfolio, each with its own purpose. We include XRP and XLM, which are important for sending money and transferring value. We're seeing the birth of the Internet of Value. And for this new ecosystem to work well, there need to be fast and easy ways to make transactions. XRP and XLM are good prospects for helping this new digital economy in this way. Please keep in mind that I am not a licensed financial advisor. The videos are only meant to be fun. I usually tell them to do their own research and talk to experts before making any financial decisions. Thanks a lot for watching. Please like the video and remember to subscribe if you liked it. You should also turn on alerts so you may be the first to know when I post new stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing you again in the next video. Be safe. Just like that, 5,500 billion XRP vanished. Could this be a problem, bullish or bearish? In addition, the Genius Act, which established stablecoins, has now been formally passed by the Parliament. Tell me what this means. Will this cause the cryptocurrency market to go wild? Or is it just going to be another story that gets a lot of attention but doesn't really change the price? What the VP mentioned regarding Jerome Powell and the Fed's current predicament will also be discussed. Greetings, lovely individuals. Greetings, earners of cash. Hey, how's it going? I slept through the night. Feeling good. Just give me a lovely smile so I can radiate positivity. That's all I ask. Hit that like button. Like a boss, because likes on Wednesday are totally free. Here's hoping this video gets 3,333 likes. All right, let's go in. I have faith in your abilities. With a loss of 0.58% today, XRP is now trading at $2.17. There has been some reversal, as you can see. Remember how we said that XRP had reached the top of the stochastic RSI? Well, it's likely that the cryptocurrency will take a small break from its recent surge. XRP isn't the only one. Even though Ethereum has pulled back slightly and Solana and others have entered the market, Bitcoin has maintained its position over the $1,600 level. It closed above the resistance area and crossed over the daily mark. There was no daily close over that, therefore. We shall find out if we are able to close above this resistance level today. Right? The daily candle closed beneath it as it crossed over. Hence, despite the fact that the 4-hour closed above it, it will be intriguing to observe. Clearly, it has returned to that level. More often now, on a daily basis, it will be examined. That is why it will be an intriguing sign. Do you see further consolidation on the horizon or a positive momentum? Bitcoin has increased by approximately 8% compared to where it was a few days ago and where XRP was on the crypto market. If we could add another 8%, we would surpass all previous records. The recovery has been substantial, not enormous, but a 13% change in only 2 days would necessitate a break. Where is the money going? Where is the demand for purchases? The news made a lot of people happy, but what will really push the cryptocurrency market higher? Do you have any worries? I don't understand. Am I correct? As a result, the crypto market is seeing some assets rise and some assets fall as a result of all these factors. I can show you. What's happening here is a bit of a mixed bag. It will be fascinating to watch how today unfolds as we approach the weekend. On Friday, we will get PCE statistics, the favored Fed metric, so they can see how the economy is doing. Jerome Powell, the vice president, was slammed by me. I adore hearing the justifications for why Powell was able to slash rates by 50 basis points just before the election. but is unable to do so now when inflation is lower. One counter-argument to this is that they originally reduced it by 50 basis points with the hope that we would be in a better position to implement the change now. However, they are unable to do so at this time because they do not believe that the U.S. will be in a better position in 6 months. In response to the Vice President's remarks, that is the Plan B. And I understand. I can see arguments on both sides. I see that interest rates are being slashed in other countries while the U.S. keeps them high. Many Americans are feeling the effects of this. Investment power is being affected. However, the stock market, specifically the S&P 500, is near an all-time high. The Nasdaq closed at record highs. The Nasdaq just experienced its first golden cross since February 2003, specifically in March of that year. That golden cross caused a price increase of 82% throughout the subsequent 23 months. The strong relationship between Bitcoin and the Nasdaq is now well established. Is this the event that sets off a highly positive trend in Bitcoin, Nasdaq technology stocks, and the like? That is the subject. Carl Moon and others keep predicting that the next altcoin market will be massive, so investors should buy now and hold on for the ride. Am I correct? You never know when what you say will come true. He's been saying it for a while, but there have been setbacks. However, I will never give you financial advice, such as whether to purchase, sell, or hold. It was entirely up to you to decide to invest before you did it. Ultimately, the choice is yours to make. Every day, I have no idea what the market will do. Day trading and swing trading are both possible if you manufacture your own. It's creative work. In other words, it's a career. Am I correct? Keep yourself apprised of all developments. Many inputs are required. A large amount of data is required. Not everyone will enjoy it. For that reason, I don't let you in on the things that I do. Everybody makes errors. This is how I win. Everything is fine. Even though I have no idea what the future holds for the cryptocurrency market, I am quite bullish on it in the long run. All investments are based on conjecture. Speculation is inherent in any investment, whether in stocks, cryptocurrency, or real estate. You're continually guessing about how much more money you could make. Am I correct? Simply keep that in mind. What the fuck is going on with this DeLorean cryptocurrency anyway? I am uncertain. It is being promoted by every channel. Although they are putting a lot of pressure on this DeLorean token, I am not one of the lucky few who receive promotional tokens because I never promote any of them. I have no idea what's happening. You name it, every single channel is pushing it. Whatever is happening there, I have no idea. Just fodder for thought, but I can't recall ever seeing a token that every channel was touting become wildly successful. I made up my mind a long time ago that I would never do that, but certainly I do miss out on a lot of money by not advertising these things. Therefore, I think that is something that you all value. Now that the Senate has formally sent Genie's Act to the House, they can vote on it, and if passed, send it directly to the president according to market trends. This happened yesterday afternoon. Additionally, the U.S. will be one step closer to greater transparency, stricter regulation, and the opening of the cryptocurrency market to its citizens. Am I correct? A lot more business will come in if corporations, banks, and organizations have a framework and believe that the U.S. government is all right with these things, okay? That is hence crucial. Plus, following the ceasefire news, there has been an uptick in the number of optimistic ETF inflows. Since more than 2 weeks, crypto ETFs have been our largest daily contributor. Can we expect the bull run to resume? That is the subject. Am I correct? Maybe we'll see a rally to a new all-time high in the next 2 or 3 days, and then we'll find out. Indeed, that is the central question that will arise. Will the 2 3s and 2 4s zone return to XRP? Once again, the dominance of Bitcoin is the deciding factor in whether or not we witness that rally. Would we observe a decline in dominance or a surge to the 70s, a level we've discussed at length and the significance of which we've emphasized respectively? The latest XRP Ledger version 2.5 was unveiled by Ripple. The fact that the blockchain is constantly evolving and getting better is crucial. And with that, I hope you've enjoyed this brief update. Take a look. Have I mentioned everything I wanted to mention on that? Yes. Very well. I want to assure you that I will never use social media to ask you to join up for anything or send me money. So, before we get into the recent events surrounding XRP, its volume, and some mystery XRP moving, I just want to remind you that a lot of con artists use my likeness as a pawn. Don't blame me. I am not a member of any social media platform. I only have this Maker Lev affiliated YouTube channel and this Twitter account. Nonetheless, there are several imposters who attempt to pass themselves off as me. So, exercise extreme caution while you're out there. Avoid any linkages at all costs. Do not fall for these phishing calls. With the rapid advancement of AI, it is becoming easier to trick you. Rest assured, I will never engage in any of those activities. People have fell for this, Phony Avis, and other channels. Therefore, I repeat this in every video. So, exercise extreme caution while you're out there. Okay? Remember when we spoke about how XRP first began trading on CME? That's right, XRP.
Forget $589 XRP. Forget $1,000 XRP. Seriously, forget every single moonshot prediction you've seen, blowing up your social media. We're cutting through all that noise today. What if the real story for XRP in 2025 is actually based on something, well, more real? We've been digging into the data, the expert opinions, and the hard numbers. The truth about XRP's potential in 2025? It might just surprise you, and it's definitely not what the hype artists are trying to sell you. This is about realistic market analysis, informed investment research, and understanding the actual risks and opportunities. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're looking closely at one of the most talked about cryptos out there, XRP. But we're not here to just repeat those wild, often baseless predictions you've seen all over the place. Nope. Our purpose is to provide a grounded market analysis, essential for any serious investment research, especially in a volatile asset like cryptocurrency. We've gathered and sifted through forecasts from a bunch of financial analysts and crypto research firms. These are the folks who actually get paid to stare at charts, analyze fundamentals, and track market trends. In this video, tailored for XRP investors, crypto enthusiasts, beginner traders, and the informed public, you'll get a clear, evidence-backed idea of where XRP could realistically be trading in 2025. We'll explore what these experts think will shape its price, from new rules and regulations to how many big players actually start using it. By focusing on realistic scenarios and potential risks, you'll have a much clearer picture based on solid analysis, not just wishful thinking or pure speculation. This is about making informed decisions in your investment journey. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Those predictions saying XRP is going to hit crazy numbers like $100, $500, or even $1,000 per token in 2025. These numbers are exciting, right? They get a ton of clicks and fuel a lot of hope in the community, especially among those new to crypto or heavily invested. You've seen the posts, the influencer videos, often claiming these prices are just around the corner, sometimes citing vague catalysts or misinterpreting technical indicators. This kind of extreme optimism is pretty standard in crypto bull runs, and XRP, with its super passionate community and history of wild price swings, is a perfect magnet for this kind of talk. A lot of this hype comes from stories about XRP revolutionizing global payments, its big partnerships, and the idea that its legal battles will eventually be over, unleashing pent-up demand. And look, the tech and goals of Ripple, the company behind XRP, are definitely ambitious and hold significant long-term potential. But jumping from where things are now to a $1,000 price tag in just over a year, that means ignoring some basic market facts and fundamental analysis principles. The dream of getting rich quick can be pretty powerful, and it's easy for excitement to get way ahead of careful thought and realistic risk assessment. But if we want to make smart decisions as investors, we've got to separate the hype from what's actually probable based on market structure and economic realities. Those super bullish claims, while they get a lot of attention, usually aren't backed by solid financial modeling or what's really happening in the market right now. Investing based on such targets carries extreme risk. So why do most serious analysts think a $1,000 XRP price in 2025 is just not realistic? It comes down to a really important number in market analysis: market capitalization, or market cap. You get this by multiplying the current price of a token by how many are out there, its circulating supply. This figure represents the total theoretical value of all tokens currently available for trading, and is a key metric for understanding an asset's scale and potential. Around now, early to mid-2025, XRP has about 58 billion tokens circulating. If XRP hit $1,000 per token, its market cap would need to be $58 trillion. Let that sink in. $58 trillion. This isn't just a big number. It's a number that fundamentally misunderstands the scale of the global financial system and the current state of the crypto market. To give you some perspective, the entire global crypto market, that's thousands of coins including Bitcoin and Ethereum, usually sits around $2 to $3 trillion during peak bull markets. Bitcoin, the big one, has historically peaked with a market cap around $1 to $1.5 trillion. For XRP to hit $1,000, its market cap would have to be over 15 times bigger than the entire current crypto market combined. It would also need to be worth more than all the gold in the world, around 15 trillion, and be getting close to the value of all global stock markets, around 100 trillion. Honestly, no credible analyst or financial model right now supports the idea that XRP, or any single cryptocurrency for that matter, could hit such a massive valuation in the next year or even in the next 10. The amount of money that would have to flow in is just staggering, requiring unprecedented global capital reallocation. And it's completely disconnected from how much it's actually being used right now and the state of the global economy. Even if XRP managed to grab a huge slice of global payment systems, the price per token, based on expected transaction volumes and the token supply dynamics, would still likely be way, way below $1,000, let alone $100. The token supply and how it works just make that kind of target practically impossible by 2025, highlighting the significant risk of investing based on such unrealistic expectations. Okay, now that we've tackled those eye-popping $1,000 of figures and grounded ourselves in market realities, let's see what
I got it, though. 12:46. There we go.
Sun rooftop, digging in the scene with the gangster leaning and we ain't coming down. See on my face that smile. See on my head that crown. I'm on the top of the world, top of the town, baby.
I moved up the hood to have the church on the corner where I sit and talk shit all day cause I wanna. And on top of that, wasn't none of y'all gonna do nothing but keep running your mouth and keep frontin'. Go ahead and say something. I'll wait. I ain't gonna wait too late, cause in a minute I'm escape. Cause there is no debate. No, it's not an option. You gotta keep the clock watch.
Sun rooftop, digging in the scene with the gangster leaning and we ain't